What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. Today, we're going to talk about the Champions League draw, Mason Mount's new agent, and the potential of players staying and some of them going, and some of the interest aroused by Chelsea. So stay tuned. Make sure you're smashing the like button, subscribing if you're brand new to the channel, on our way to 1,800 subscribers. Make sure you're hitting that bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live. Check out the links in the description. Leave a comment down below to let us know what you thought about the channel or any of the news that's been going on. And last, surely but not least, make sure you check out the links for our channel membership. We have 4 different tiers. So if you're interested in helping out the channel immensely and being part of the casuals and having your own emojis for the channel, make sure you do so and check that out as well. But let's get this ball rolling, and let's start off by talking about our first story right here in regards to Fofana. Anyways, so here we got news that Fofana is actually injured. So Fofana is set to withdraw from France squad due to a hamstring injury, which is probably why we didn't see Fofana. We saw Fofana come off during that Everton game. Another one here is from Nathan Gissing. I am told Fofana is expected to be out for around 10 days. So very likely, he's probably not going to play any games in the international break. Possibly, who knows? Didier Deschamps is a little bit of a madman when it comes to playing players, despite the injuries. He's been removed from the squad, and okay, so there you go.
Yeah,
you've been told.
You know what? Better off for him, because it's better that we don't risk Fofana getting any more injury. He's been, to be fair, he's been brilliant for us in recent games. I think he had a fantastic game against Everton yesterday, but yeah, this kid is a little worrisome when it comes to the injuries. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of annoying. So guys, what did you think about
that
Fofana?
comment's funny, man. Ted Lasso. I don't know, it's the one I just seen pop up. Mount needs justice. Sack this clown. Ted Lasso would have done better. Ted Lasso would have done better.
Oh god.
Yeah, sure. What are your thoughts on Fofana, Chris?
My thoughts. Well, like at first, like I was kind of worried when he said injury because I didn't know how bad it was actually. 10 days, like that's just all the way through international, really. So it's not too bad. But I do get worried, like Fofana, like he gets injured a lot, doesn't he? So like you saw for Leicester, he's been injured for Chelsea for a good while. We've seen like we was actually missing him, I think, because he is a good centre back. We can see like he's a talented centre back and can defend. He's consistent as well, as far as I can see as well. Like so. That's the one thing I am worried about is his injuries. That's just Chelsea, isn't it? We get worried about a lot of players getting injured. So but yeah, nothing too worrying because it's only 10 days. So yeah, like I don't know what else to think about that. Like not too bad, maybe.
Gentlemen, the rest of you, what are your thoughts on the injury?
Get stronger, man. Get your legs stronger. Get your legs stronger, man. Listen, at the end of the day, you can't keep getting injured. That's like his 3rd injury in the row now. Listen, I like you, but you know what's the word? What's the term again? Availability is the best.
Yeah,
trait, football trait.
Right.
I don't know.
That's Mason Mount's best trait.
Oh, relax it. No, it's the availability is like your best thing in it. But anyway, that's what he needs, man. That's what he needs. Yeah, something like that, man. I'll check that quote.
Yeah, get back to us when you get the quote, all right? All right. Until then, you can sit backstage. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go backstage.
I'm not gonna put you backstage.
Let's go backstage.
But
my ears gonna bleed one day.
One of these days, yeah, it'll bleed. But yeah, so frustrating. It makes sense why Chalobah came on now. Makes the substitution a little less questionable, I guess. Which was in big contention over the game, but hopefully he gets a speedy recovery. We see him play for the next game, which is going to be Liverpool, I believe, or Aston Villa. I may have gotten that wrong, but I think it's Liverpool. I think Liverpool is our next game. It is Aston Villa.
Okay. It's Villa. Yes, Villa first, mate. You know, I mean, it's the battle for 10th place.
Okay,
we're on the same points, aren't we?
Yeah, it's literally 5 goals that differentiate us.
38 points each. To me.
Golly, yeah, I see here Villa and then Liverpool.
One plus 1 goal difference.
Golly, well, look at us being a better team than Villa. Who would have thought?
Standards, man.
Oh man,
We're gonna use
standards.
this, man.
Listen, it happens. But we got more news to go through. Let's go ahead on to the next topic. Let's talk about Chelsea potentially moving over to Craven Cottage. All right, so here we have Mail Sport reporting and PYS reposting it here. Breaking. Todd Bowley has informally contacted Fulham's owner about potentially using their ground with the plans for a Stamford Bridge rebuild worth up to £2 billion. Chelsea would be away from the bridge for 4 years and can play Category A games and Champions League matches at Twickenham and Wembley. Category A, what does that mean?
Category is category means the top games because you can't just on like the Premier League
Liverpool,
games.
Spurs.
No, it's just Premier League. It's a Premier League.
Category A refers to the amount of officers working a fixture.
And the thing is also Category A, like usually that the stadiums are very modernized, up to date. The pitches is really good. It's sort of like Premier League standard pitches essentially, because you know the Championship standard pitch and a Premier League standard pitch are sort of different. If that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. I mean, I'm all for this simply because, like, it's right next to the Stamford Bridge already, so it makes it easier for the match going fans to already have a place to go to. They don't have to go an extra distance or somewhere else out of the way to go to a game. Not that it matters really, but at least here it's right. It's probably the same exact stop where Stamford Bridge is. If people will take the metro, or I mean, I don't know what you guys call it, but the subway,
the tube,
whatever.
It's the underground way. Get it right, mate. It's the underground way. All right, it's the underground way. Get it right.
The underground. Oh yeah, because we're mole people apparently in the UK. Jesus. Listen, whatever form of transportation, the whatever form of toothpaste tube you use to get to fucking Stamford Bridge, then this would make it so much easier for people to go to the games and still go. And based on what we're talking about backstage, it's not that big of a size difference, really. Around 10,000 less. Right? No, 15,000 less.
It's 30. No, it's like 12k max less.
Can I show you something if you don't mind, guys? Can I show you the stadium? Look.
You want to share it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna ask you first, though, obviously, because you know.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I want to see nudes on the stream. Are you showing us the stadium?
1 second, yeah.
I'm just gonna imagine, and Cuckoo comes next season, and he's gonna come to Chelsea and fucking plays for them.
This is that I chose specifically the area view so you can get to understand just how difficult the civil engineering behind this is.
Small
like, look at that. That's the underground over here, if you can see. Like that's just literally to the south of it. To the north of it, that's council flats. You know, those are actual council houses. To the left, there's a bunch of other houses there that you would have to do. They're buying. I think they're buying plot of land. I think to the north. I think it's the northwest. Sorry, I think that's where they're looking to buy land from, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just saying to you, like from a logistical standpoint, it's not like Liverpool where you can do one stand at a time to rebuild and still play football games here. It's quite hard to do so.
Yeah.
So you know.
It's not easy to upgrade at Chelsea. That's why we should move away from it, but that area. But you know what, we just got to stay there and stuff.
No. I'm not saying we should leave, but I'm just saying like the building process is that's why it's probably gonna have to be. You're gonna have to play offsite because it's a building nightmare to play there and do building work there. If that makes sense.
It's a nightmare to upgrade because after this upgrade, Ahmed, we ain't gonna be able to upgrade any more seats from now.
You can't upgrade after this. I'm just getting you know, it's impossible to upgrade after this. The land here, this is Chelsea land. You know what I mean? Also, this is the area of Chelsea. It is prime land. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do. You're not gonna be able to do this place.
So when it comes to expanding, do we know if they're going to expand it upwards, or are they just trying to expand it like width-wise? Like
they have to dig down.
Underground.
They have to dig down.
You have to dig down, and then again, that is another issue because there's underground also running downstairs as well.
Eesh,
so that's what I'm saying to you. So it's a bit more. It's a lot more complicated. The topography is all the same, and it's all London clay. But the issue is also the underground it's the underground area which is the problem, I think, as well. So there's obviously the outside problems, and then there's also got the inside problems. Because you've got anything which has got a large building, you have to use piles.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is when you have piles, like they have to be very deep or stuff like this, where you're holding
Sorry,
thousands.
What are those Powells? What?
Piles are like these concrete
Piles.
piles, PILES. They're like concrete rods.
Oh, right.
Oh, like pillars?
Yeah, but
columns.
they're called
Yeah.
But they're
Oh, okay,
called,
columns.
I thought you were
Okay,
saying
in a
pyros.
sense.
I thought, flipping out, we're getting pyros?
The industry jargon, the industry word that we use for them is called piles, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You got me excited. I wanted some pyros.
No.
Every
I
time Chelsea scored.
forgot. Ahmed, you're like a civil engineer, right? That's essentially.
Yeah, so that's why.
Okay,
That's my idea.
You should be working on there.
He will be.
No, listen, man.
You're gonna see Ahmed there. Ahmed's gonna come to streams
Proper
right
Chelsea
after.
helping build Stamford
Mates,
Bridge.
it's the construction hat on, the hard hat, and the vest. Mates, it's
Team
looking
Todd Bowley.
peak out here. Todd Bowley's paying
Nah.
minimum wage.
If I was to do the Stamford Bridge thing, for example, it wouldn't just be me. It would be like a whole group of people.
No, yeah.
And I work
But
with
you'll be the
people.
team leader.
Yeah, it'd be a giant team. Yeah.
And these ones, a lot of this, what I work at is pre-construction, so I wouldn't have that much of a thing of going there every now and then to be like a set manager as such. I would be in the background helping to get the idea of how to build it or to expand it in the first place. That's sort of my job.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
mean,
crazy, man.
is it like just a question? Because like here in the States, I feel like turnaround time for construction has been so quick lately. Is it normal for something like this to take 4 years? I feel like an expansion should take about like a year, 2 years.
Do you know why? The problem is in the UK we have a lot of laws to do with construction because there's been a few incidents in the UK where certain buildings, Brentford's a good example of that, obviously, but like previous ones as well, where shit has not been done right, so they've made a lot of steps essentially over the process. And then in addition, like where Chelsea is, right, it's like it's a house area where people live and everything, so the time they can build is going to be minimized, so there will probably be like a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. working time.
True. Yeah, they have a work window because outside of that, it's like noise ordinances and all that.
Because you don't want noise pollution where these men are sleeping at 9 a.m. or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Then they keep on hearing drilling or bang, 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 and you got all these heavy items coming in as well.
Talk about like the work schedule and how long it takes. Like, if you guys remember, like China made like I think 10 hospitals like in 7 days. Like we need some of that speed, and then we can get things done real quick.
China does not have. China doesn't. Yeah, but all right. Let me finish stop screen.
The thing is though, like Chris, it's like I think the issue is where it's located, where it's like a dense area, almost like in New York. Like construction in New York would be so shitty because, well, I mean, in New York it's a little easier because everything's a grid, so you can just navigate traffic in another direction or all that, and the metros are it's all easy to just figure it out. Whereas in the UK, based on what I'm seeing there and all that, it's like it's a little bit more complicated, more convoluted.
Train tracks,
you're gonna have to close off roads and redirect traffic somewhere else, while also being able to maintain other businesses to remain open and all that. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot of work that's gonna go into it, and especially that there's homes around there and there's like noise ordinances. That's just a pain in the ass. So it would have been better if we had just been able to build somewhere else and still be able to play at the bridge. But it is what it is. It stinks. But how long did the Bernabeu take for their reconstruction? I feel like they only need a season.
Still going on, mate. Bernabeu still going on.
Oh, it still is?
Yeah, I thought there's part of that stadium that's still being done.
I thought, but like they play there still, don't they?
Yeah, but again, it's the Liverpool situation. They had so they left that stadium when it was COVID.
They went to the training ground, didn't they?
Yeah, they went to the Stefano Stadium where they.
Marshall, that's where we played them in the first leg.
That's why I was like, wasn't that because of construction?
Yes, that was because of construction. Because they're creating something bigger than just the stadium. They're creating Real Madrid City. So no, it's like that construction is actually pretty cool. But like they've actually got an underground station that will take you to the stadium straight away. It's called Real Madrid City like train. Will take you there. You go straight up. Just like a few ladders. go straight to the shops and like some food area, and then you go up the stairs again to go into the stadium. Just freaking cool, man. That is that is a genius move. But to be honest, fun fact about the Real Madrid president, he's also like a civil engineer. So you know what I mean.
Oh,
you know what I mean.
You're saying you're gonna be owning a club?
Listen, man. Don't worry. One day. You
The restaurant celebration now.
Yeah, just forget it. No,
I was just thinking, you know, like all these signings we're making, and now obviously Nkunku's coming, and they're gonna be seeing the fucking Fulham Stadium when they arrive at Stamford. Well, not Stamford Bridge, the Cottage.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about Craven Cottage. Like, it's a logistical idea being just down the road. The big problem with this, and I was telling the guys this backstage beforehand.
Let's go backstage then. Yeah, we'll go backstage.
Sorry, I had to.
Actually, thank good to my health.
No, I did that to myself, but it's the pitch area. So people complain all the time. Oh, we can't attack because Stamford Bridge, the pitch is too small. Yeah, Fulham's pitch is smaller, and I've actually done the maths. Fulham's pitch is 500 square meters smaller than Stamford Bridge, or in imperial units, that is 5,400 square feet. So it's quite significantly smaller, and that could maybe impact us on the pitch if that argument has any weight to it. So you'd prefer to go to Wembley or Twickenham in that case.
That's what I don't understand. You talk about Wembley. Why can't we do that? Because didn't Tottenham play at Wembley?
It
right?
seems like it says here for
but it's
Class
too far.
A games.
No, it's not even Class A. I think there's two things I would say. I want to add something to the logistical problem which Oliver made, which is that if Fulham stay in the Premier League, let's see if we're playing on a Saturday, where are we going to play?
Someone's going to get postponed, and probably Fulham because
it would have to. The Premier League would just have to schedule it so that they can play. Like for example, Chelsea plays on a Saturday and then Fulham plays on a Sunday.
Oh man, it would have to be something logistical. Like, you know how the Milan clubs share the San Siro.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, maybe it would be something like that. But
they'd have to work out the fixtures around that.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing that you guys need to realize, Twickenham from Chelsea is a bit. I would say far. I would say it's a bit far. It's a bit far, I would say, compared to Fulham. And even though yes, the pitch is bigger, it's all great and that stuff. And then the other thing with Wembley from Chelsea to Wembley, that's like quite a long ride. Even from where I live, which is like the Battersea.
How long would that take you to get to Wembley?
Probably by a drive, like half an hour drive.
Oh,
it would be a half an hour drive. That's what
I think you've got
man.
And that's a heavy traffic, man. And that's without heavy traffic. That's without heavy traffic. Remember, and this is like a football game. Everyone's gonna go down to Wembley.
It takes me 27 minutes to travel to my football ground.
I think what E's not understanding is that for me, like for example, it's not a problem to go to Wembley. Like I can take even an overground train, which is like 5 minutes. I'll be in Wembley. But if someone's coming to travel to London to go to Wembley, it is a bit of a distance. And again, I said half an hour without traffic. I've added.
You poor man, half hour.
Listen, a half hour is not far, but it becomes a lot when there's traffic, when there's a game, and there's a stadium.
This is what you do, Marshall.
We're talking about hour 12, hour 15.
Marshall, this is what you do.
Hold on, before you go, Chris. Like, I've been to concerts at MetLife, right? MetLife here in the United States, it's a pretty big stadium. It's one of the stadiums that's going to be used for the World Cup. You know, it's a pretty big stadium. Getting out of there is a fucking nightmare. We're talking about an hour just to get back on the road, and then the traffic to get back to my home. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm sure there are going to be fans that are going to, still go to Wembley and all that stuff, but it's definitely going to impact the amount of fans that come out to the games for sure.
Right, this is how I think about it as well. Like with Wembley, is way more seats than the Cottage, right? So you're going to be making more money that way. So I don't see why not that way. It's a nicer stadium for the players to go to. Like we are a big club. Like we're going to the Cottage. It's like it's like
See, look at the OG Turbo. Jesus knows, man.
But I was gonna say, like, you did make a good point, because I understand, like, going, like, leaving the stadium at the end of the game is gonna be pain. I do agree with you there, but, like, getting there, like, you can always, like, go a bit earlier, I would say. Like, that's, like, an option as well, like, so you can beat the traffic a bit. But, like, leaving it, yeah, like, I understand, like, that's a good point, Marshall. So, but I don't know, I don't want to be at the Fulham Stadium, but I'd rather be at Wembley. It's a better stadium. I feel like it benefits us more as well, like for seats.
Now, Chris, the money point is a good one because that's the whole reason we're upgrading in the first place. We're trying to make some more money, and if we're going to be out of the Champions League for, first of all, we don't even know when these plans. We don't even know when these plans for the stadium rebuild are going to be submitted and when they're going to be approved. So we're still waiting on that. But
even more time as well.
Yeah, that's one thing. But if we're going to miss out on the Champions League next year, which is looking like a pretty much a 99% guarantee, and maybe even the season after that, we just don't know. We need to make as much money where we can, wherever possible. So, like you said, Chris, you prefer Wembley or Twickenham in that case.
Yeah, I prefer big stadiums.
Look, I'm glad that there's even progress being made on this, to be honest. We went from rumors under Roman and like little inklings of news and what could potentially happen to now, like it's looking like we're getting this in motion.
Roman actually had a stadium concept, but then he withdrew his visa in 2018, and then that kind of fell apart.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So at least now, like this idea finally has some legs to it. And hopefully sooner or later the sooner we get this done, the faster we can start getting more people into the stadiums. We can start making more money. We can start making actual profit on home games and revenue from that. I know we are making revenue, but it's not nearly enough, I don't think. I think most of the club's funding right now for the players and salaries has been coming out of Bowley's wallet for the most part, and whatever we do in sales from the merch store, online and internationally and all that stuff, and views also from Premier League and all that. So we'll see. I definitely pulled a few facts there out of my ass for when it comes to revenue. I'm sure there's a lot more avenues, but I know the stadium is not one of the biggest ones. So let's go on to the next topic, which I was surprised we actually talked about that for quite a bit. So let's talk about what Ahmed just sent me. International break. What about international break? What are we going to be doing during international break? And I got some news here for you guys. So let's talk about right here. Adam Newsom reporting that Graham Potter says Chelsea will look to play in-house friendlies during the international break, helping N'Golo Kante build up match fitness. We're still planning it, but I think it will probably be internal. That will be good. We need to control it as much as we can. And you definitely need to, because with N'Golo Kante, look, you need to wrap this man in bubble wrap, packing peanuts, whatever you need. Just protect this man. Do not let this man, if he needs a massage, you massage him. If he wants coffee in the morning, you get him the coffee in the morning. Like, listen, you take care of this man. You shine his shiny head. You do whatever you got to do, man. Take care of this player because we need him. He's going to be so crucial for the end of the season, especially with what we're going to talk about later, the Champions League draw and the games that we're going to be needing results from just to even talk about European football, right? So, listen, this is good. Get his fitness up. Make sure he's ready for the game when we come back from international break. I don't think he got called up to France, did he? I hope not. God, I hope not. Okay, good. So, yeah, Deschamps not being a maniac and trying to call this guy back up. What do we think about this, ladies and gents? Ahmed, you sent me this, so what are your thoughts?
Oh, nothing much over here. This is like a current state support. We'll see if Kante can ever get fit. So, it is what it is, isn't it, man?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he gets injured, like in these type of matches, man, we might need to abort this man to another club.
Just pull the contract. That's what you got to do. Just pull the contract from the table and then let go for free.
Like, he can't get injured no more. He's had a surgery.
He hasn't signed it yet, right?
No, he hasn't.
No, thankfully.
And
they're close to an agreement, but they haven't. It's not done 100% yet.
What's it called? He's had the surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I do want to see how the surgery treats him. Like, we shouldn't play him every game because this Kante can't play every game. But getting him to fitness and everything, it's like the standard thing. You want him to have this match sharpness to get ready for the Real Madrid and everything, the games we need him for. So it's good to see we're doing that at least as a club. But if he gets injured, we need to sell. Don't care if we sell him injured.
To be fair to Potter as well, and you can't sell him if he's injured.
We'll just
to be fair to Potter,
he'll leave for free anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to be able to pass a medical in order for us to sell him.
No,
if
he
he's
can,
injured,
he
he
can
doesn't pass
retire
a
home
medical.
then after that point. He can retire home.
Yeah. Listen, the thing is, well, I'll get back to Conte, but with the friendlies and all that stuff with Broja, I understand where you're coming from, Chopper, but at the same time, to be fair to Potter, he didn't have a preseason to really instill a system. He should have, he should be able to do this during the season, but a lot of people like to put this huge onus on preseason not having been there and not having been able to like really ingrain a system. I guess these friendlies are a way for him to do that, and also to get some, test some fitness levels, play some players that have been out of contention for a while. It's something,
But Marshall, yeah. how can we do it though? We have to give these guys days off after losing Southampton.
Fair enough. But as for N'Golo Kante, listen, I'm not hanging all my hopes on him coming back, but I will say that depending on which N'Golo Kante we get, if we get a fully fit N'Golo Kante that plays like 2020 N'Golo Kante during Champions League, well, that was 2020, right? Yeah, that was.
No,
2021, yeah. When we get that, if we get that N'Golo Kante back, it's going to be a huge difference. And N'Golo Kante in the midfield does make a huge difference. You guys got to remember that.
Yeah,
not you guys.
Does he anymore? Does he anymore?
What? Does he?
It depends. That's what I'm saying. It depends on which Kante we get back. If we get a fully fit Kante,
Ahmed, at the very least,
the worry I even have is even if he comes back fully fit, is he ever going to be back to his best? Is the new fully fit Kante the same as the old one?
Now listen, Ahmed, at the very least, let's just replace this damn Conor Gallagher sub with Kante, and then it'll be
fair enough. Yeah,
that's an upgrade.
I think we should hope or expect is a semi-decent Kante, not like we shouldn't be hopeful like he's gonna be like 2021 Kante. I would love it. I think we'd all love it, of course. But Kante is going through a lot of injuries and he's getting older. He's definitely slowing down. I just hope for we just get a semi-decent Kante and just be humbled with that, and as a bench option over Oliver said, replace Gallagher, because Gallagher, I'm sick of seeing Gallagher getting subbed on like every 60 minutes now.
Thing is, at least Kante has defensive qualities. Like Gallagher just runs into people. Like that's all.
And Kante is actually a good dribbler on the ball too. Like he can actually dribble on the ball.
Yeah. That's true.
He's got a good shot on him sometimes, like a Kovacic. He can bang a goal in, like if he's lucky.
Just a better player overall, yeah.
Yeah, we just got to see what Kante we get. I'm just praying we don't get a shit Kante or just an injury Kante.
Yeah, let's pray and hope, man. But speaking on the midfield,
right? Okay, go Marshall.
Bring in Zakaria, who might be leaving the club. Is that what you said? Are you gonna say?
No surprise, man.
Let's talk about it. So, it is according to Pletty Goal. At this stage, Chelsea are unlikely to trigger Dennis Zakaria's option to buy to make this loan deal permanent this summer. The club has made signing a new number 6 their top priority. I'm kind of confused about that though. I guess Zakaria's not technically a number 6. He's a 8. He's a box to box, but I don't know, man. Like, what bothers me about this is the games that we have seen Zakaria play. He's been pretty good, so I don't know what it is. Like, is it just maybe he doesn't train well? Maybe he doesn't have a good attitude. It seems like he has a great attitude from what we've seen on the pitch. I don't.
You know what it is. Our manager just rates Gallagher more as a sub. You've seen it. He rates him over a lot of midfielders to put on. He for some reason trusts Gallagher more, so that's what it is, and that's why we're not going to keep Zakaria. What's the point in keeping Zakaria when you see like Gallagher come on every time at 60 minutes at this point? What's the point?
Yeah, that's the thing for me. I just don't think Potter necessarily rates him to that level that we do, and we've seen the performances, we rate it. Maybe he doesn't, and like people have forgotten this. I haven't forgotten. Do you guys remember when Potter first came in? Zakaria didn't touch the pitch for 2 months.
Yeah,
that says everything for me. If you're not gonna, and we had a dead rubber in the Champions League, and like, did he even play that? I'm not even sure. But
I can remember the City game where he played really well, and
he literally only appeared in 2 games before the World Cup, and when we had that kind of level of fixture congestion at the time, and he's not getting on the pitch, that just goes to show you that there's a disconnect between what we rate and what Potter rates. So that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Zakaria, he was always meant to be, a one-time use, just for one season, because our previous manager thought we didn't need a midfielder, and look how it's turning out for us currently. Listen, I think I've seen some good things with Zakaria, but you can get a younger player who has a high ceiling that can get even better. So hey.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
And also, you've got guys like Kalidou Kone. I'm watching good back, £30 million. Why not get a young, good 21-year-old, 22-year-old guy who's an up and comer, could replace you?
But Gallagher just played that game too.
Yeah,
you got to look at Lavia as well.
Wouldn't. Yeah,
Gallagher play.
I swear to God, Gallagher will not play.
If Potter's in charge, if Potter's still in charge, you best believe you're seeing Gallagher at 63 minutes coming on for Joao Felix or Pulisic or Mudryk.
Listen, I like Gallagher, but he ain't playing if there's really good top players there, man. He can't, man. He can't.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
I refuse.
We refuse to believe that. Yeah. What have we seen in the last 4 games?
Jesus.
Huh?
Listen, I'll say this, Ahmed, you're on point, because why not? Let's bring it up. Let's talk about Lavia and Kone. Let's discuss it. So there's news regarding these players, right? So we have Chelsea, Alex Cook. I don't know who the fuck Alex Cook is, but
he's a guy from
transfer guy from Talksport.
Okay, there we go. So they're reporting Chelsea are stepping up their attempts to sign Southampton midfield Romeo Lavia this summer. The Blues had a big money offer for Lavia rejected by Saints weeks after the 19-year-old joined Saints from Manchester City in July. Chelsea's recruitment director Joe Shields was instrumental in bringing Lavia to the South Coast when he had a similar position at the St. Mary's Stadium. Now, in regards to Kone as well as Lavia, there's more news here coming from Simon Phillips. I was told this week that there is a scenario where the club could bring in Claudio Kone as well as Romeo Lavia. Quadio, okay. Quadio Kone as well as Romeo Lavia or ADM. And at the moment, they are considering both. A lot will depend on current situations such as the future of Mateo Kovacic, and he has been keen to consider all options, including staying at Chelsea. So, listen, both these players have been highly rated. Both these players, we've seen, well, at least with Lavia, we've seen how this man has put us in the spliff. They're good players. And if we bring him in, I would not be opposed at all. Now, if it depends on Mateo, I think it should be regardless of whether or not Mateo Kovacic stays or goes. I think I would love for Mateo Kovacic.
If you lose,
we should keep Kovacic.
If you lose Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Marshall, if you lose Ruben Loftus-Cheek, which I think is probably going to happen, you have to bring in Curly because you're losing. You have to, man. And then the other thing is Kovacic. Yeah, let's be real, guys. Yeah. He's not signing, man. I hate to say it.
Why is he not signing?
I don't think he's going to sign, man.
Is there any concrete evidence you think he won't, or you just have a gut feeling? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that obviously from gut feeling and from there have been a few reports saying that now that he's considering his options. When someone is considering their options, you know what that means, innit? When someone says they're considering their options, usually it means that they're not tending to stay towards the club in general. So
part tax.
You have to bring, so I think for me, you have to bring in someone like a Kone and you bring in a Lavia as well. Because also, even if you say Kante on a contract, is Kante going to be available all the time? We've seen now, he's not always been available. So, again, that's another question you have to ask.
See, this is where I'd be annoyed. If we sign Kante and don't sign, try actually give Kovacic a good contract, maybe 180, 200 and see if Kovacic accepts that. Because I believe he would. I really believe he would. We know what player Kovacic is, and it doesn't look like he's actually getting anytime soon getting injured. It's not even worrying by the looks of it now. So
don't say that, bro. Please don't say that.
He's gonna get injured though. He's still injury prone.
But but this is my point. Kante is a way more injury prone guy as well. And we signed Kante for him. It's just gonna be really nice because Kante's on 300k a week, and let's face it, he's not gonna go any lower than that, is he? We don't see players go lower. We just see him go up or just stay the same. So like, give Kovacic a contract. Like, I know what I get with Kovacic, a consistent, good player who controls the midfield, who's good on the ball, can pass it, who can even create something as well. We can see it, and he's got a good shot on him when he has it, like a good volley or something. So we have to keep Kovacic for me.
I don't think it's about offering him a contract, though. It's about, the reports have been that he wants a new challenge. So it's not, that wouldn't necessarily be in our control. That's all I'd say on that.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And
I don't know how reliable he said he wants a new challenge, though, still.
But he doesn't need to say it from his mouth, though, for it to be.
Do you remember who reported it?
Brown envelope's got to say it, yes.
Yeah. I can't remember who said it, but it was, wasn't it not? Matt Lord's been reporting quite often, and even the Times have been reporting, and the Athletic have been reporting that Kovacic is on the list of guys that could potentially leave first. So
I'm not saying he won't go, but I'm just saying, like, I still believe if Chelsea give him a contract at 180 to 200,
Chelsea want to give him a contract. Though. That's not. There's no doubt in that.
They want to. Where have we seen what they really want to, like? Where have we seen the offer?
No, it's been reported that they want to give him a contract.
I need to see, from Matt Law or Fabrizio, Chelsea has offered Kovacic a contract because I haven't seen like any offered yet. Like, it has to be offered for me.
Obviously, it's not going to be. They're not obviously going to release it straight away, but clearly there has to be some negotiation to be going on fast. But I do think that they obviously want to give him a contract. It depends on if he wants to be here, though. That's the other question. Does he want to stay here for a long time? For the long time, and I don't think he does.
Now, Chris, they're also too busy talking about Mason Mount, so they can't talk about Kovacic yet.
Jesus Christ, man.
What was you going to say,
By the way, I just wanted to say, big up to Cam in the chat. I just want to let Cam know that, we'll see things that they will never see.
You had that picture saved, man, so quick.
No, I was looking it up while you guys you guys are talking. Listen, man, I don't have to use the Champions League. I can just show you the Europa League. That's good enough.
They won't even come close to Champions
That's cash money, yeah?
Big up Cam. Big up Cam.
Oh, big up Scott, man.
Yeah, big up Scott.
I just feel like Chelsea have to keep Kovacic at all costs because he's a good midfielder. I got annoyed when we lost Jorginho, but I understand like he wasn't going to sign, and like we got 12 million for 12 months, not 12 months, 6 months. So yeah, I feel like we definitely got to keep Kovacic. Like out of like two, I wanted to keep.
See, the thing is, like I rate Kovacic. Don't get me wrong, I do rate Kovacic. I think he's a great midfielder, but I think he can be replaced. A fielder, a midfielder like Jorginho is a little bit harder to find a replacement for. There's not very many that play like him, but there are players that do play like him that are better than him. We have one that is like Enzo, in my opinion. But with Kovacic, it's just... Oh shit, we got raided. Thank you so much for the raid, Lewis. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Big up to Carefree Lewis.
Big up raid, man.
Big up to you guys.
I thought I thought Johnny raided us as well. I saw his
Raid,
picture.
No, that's just our mate out of frogs.
Yeah, I read the
He's
name.
dipping his toes into the minerals, mate. But yeah, big up to everyone who just came from Carefree Lewis's raid. Make sure you're smashing the like button, subscribing, checking out the channel and all the content that we make here. Also join our membership as well. But back to with the Kovacic discussion. So yeah, with Kovacic, he's a very good player, and I think lately he's been playing really, really well. He arguably one of the with Enzo, that pivot has been phenomenal in my opinion. But I think he is replaceable. I think we can get young blood. I don't want to replace him necessarily because I think he is good, and part of me thinks he does want to stay now because now he's been given more respect, more responsibility, the captaincy, and more playtime. It's. And he finally has a more competent team. You see how he stepped up in the box as well. He's taking more shots. He's taking more initiative. So I think part of me thinks he does want to stay at the club, and we could potentially keep him here. Is there players that could replace him that can potentially be better? Sure. But it would be disappointing, just like people have said in the past. But I don't know if any of you guys want to add on to Kovacic and Latvia and all that news. Yeah.
I think I said enough about Kovacic before, so.
At some point, you would argue what?
I was just gonna say though, I would argue if you are going to continue down this road of replacing players with like younger and with much higher potential ceilings, it might turn out to be a much better option for you to sell someone like a Kovacic. Maybe if he doesn't want to sign a new contract and looking at other options, might be better off selling and bringing in a younger blood some young blood, someone that's got more hunger, higher ceiling to help you out. But again, I think it's just down to how much of the old guard they need to keep, like the older heads and the new young up and coming generation. That's as a club, you need to find that right balance.
Well, that's one of the ideas behind keeping Kante, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, ladies and gents, let's move over to the next story I have for you guys. And this is in regards to something I saw that was interesting. Maybe gives us a little bit more of an insight as to why it's happening. But let's talk about Graham Potter on Kai Havertz, okay? Now, we've complained for a while that Kai Havertz plays too much. He doesn't get benched, doesn't get any rest. This guy should be benched and all that stuff. He's picked up in form now. I think he's... Well, for lack of options in competition, because he doesn't like Aubameyang, he doesn't rate Fofana. He's been kind of earning his spot in the starting lineup. We'll say that for now. He's been better, at least. So let's talk about Kai Havertz here. Graham Potter was asked whether Kai Havertz's best role in Chelsea side has been found. That's the thing. Kai is still young and can play lots of positions. He is probably not quite leading the line now, that he's behind the line, and that's probably his best position, although I would not rule out anything. I would not rule anything out with Kai, because the mentality is there and he has got all the attributes to do anything. I think he's a confident player, but he is also someone who you need to help. I can't speak highly enough of him. To be honest, he has given everything all the time, does his absolute best, takes responsibility, and is an absolute dream to work with as a coach. And this is coming from Adam Newson. More here as well. He wants to learn, he wants to improve, and he gives his best to the team. He deals with the adversity in a sensible, mature way and rides out the storm. Then, because of the quality he has, he gets his rewards. So, it seems to me Havertz is pretty much Graham Potter's favorite player. He is, the teacher's pet, I guess you would say.
Suck up.
Who the hell cares, man? This is March Madness Kai. Then it's gonna be back to Debbie Down as able with Kai Havertz, man. So good.
Listen, it's just the manager's always going to have their favorites, and this makes more sense as to why he's been playing so often. Maybe it was supposed to be Mount, but then Mount, does what Mount is doing right now.
Hey, but listen, Marshall. What Kai's doing what he's doing now, but then what happens if he doesn't do what he's doing? So what are you saying that Potter's out then?
I have been saying I'm still Potter out until we see the end of the season. We see how well he can turn it around, if he can't even turn it around, because we thought we were turning it around and then we were humbled yesterday, right? But with Kai, he's been improving in his performances. I only hope that he keeps improving and he convinces all of us that he has a place here at Chelsea. As of right now, I'm not going to hop on the bandwagon no. If anything, people would be hopping on my bandwagon. But I'm not going to get my hopes up about Kai Havertz and, he's generational. I'm not saying that ridiculous stuff, okay? He's had 3 good games. 3.5 good games. I would say yesterday was probably like a half performance. He's been scoring in games, which is good. We need him to score. You just need to keep going. He's he's 1 goal away from matching his goals in the Premier League last season.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't good. Still,
it wasn't good. No, well, listen, I'm not saying it like it was a good thing. I'm just saying.
Let's for Kai Havertz.
Okay, I got you.
Come on, man.
Well done. Listen, this man has scored 2 penalties in the last 3 games.
Oh my Lord.
All I'm saying is that, listen, if we want an improvement from Kai, quote unquote, let's keep this performances going. Let's get the same goals that you got last season. Let's improve on them. All right, let's get more goals this season. I don't expect Kai to get more than 15 goals. Listen, at his best. Listen, at his best. All right. Let's say prior to the season starting. Prior to the season starting, I wanted Kai to get at least 15 goals. Okay. I don't expect more than 15 goals because I don't want him to be a striker. He's not a striker in my book. That's my biggest reason on it. He's more of an in-behind striker. So as a number 10...
So what is he then?
He's a second striker for me.
I was going to say, that's the first thing that I saw from these comments. So we're basically playing without a number 9 right now. We're
playing the false 9 again.
Yesterday, Felix was down the middle.
But he's not a number 9 either.
I know. I'm not saying he is, but yeah.
So we're just playing without a striker. Like, that's what we're saying.
Even
Are
though
we
we
just
have
playing
two strikers.
Are we just playing like what four? What's the formation? 3-3-2.
3-4-3 our formation is right now.
I was gonna say we were playing with a winger and 2 attacking midfielders yesterday as our front three. Like, also, I can't lie. All of the comments he's saying about like that entire second paragraph and the third paragraph actually below it, I'm just getting mad fucking deja vu.
Mason Mount deja vu.
Yeah, Mason Mount deja vu.
Yep, I was thinking the same exact thing. Yeah.
Stop talking about wants to like. Talking about training, he wants to learn and all this bullshit, man.
Bro, do you remember Tuchel quotes for Kai?
He's been here 3 years, Scott. He's been here 3 years.
Do you guys remember when Tuchel used to talk about Kai and like about his versatility? This is exactly the shit that he used to say.
I was going to say he plays in a lot of positions. Like what? Like what? Like,
it's tiring, man. I'm tired of this brother, man. You know what I mean? This is going to be a number 9, man.
I agree, guys.
What's so convincing in the last like 3 games? Like he scored what 2 penalties in 3 attempts, and he's played
he's been good. That's the thing. I can't.
I'm
knock
not
his
saying he's been shit, but I think he's been okay for me. That's it.
He's been good, but like I'm just tired of his comments. I'm just
tired of the PR. That's what I think.
Innit? I'm just tired of the comments.
That's it, man. Let's hoop on the pitch, man. We don't care about what makes Kai great.
I was gonna say, man, like this. I kind of said it earlier on Lewis's stream, and it's like I've said it before in terms of like this is giving me mad Ollie season vibes, where like I just keep hearing it's all PR coming out from the players and the coach, and it's interviews all the goddamn time and apology posts on Twitter or Insta. So I just shut the fuck up and perform. I don't care. I don't care if you never tweet again. I don't care if you'd never post on anything on Instagram again. Just fucking play football. Like.
Bro, Scott, man. We need to be hooping on the pitch here. We need wins.
I understand how United fans felt. I understand how they felt watching Bruno Fernandes come out with an apology post every game about Rashford talking about how he feeds the kids every game. Big man, good on you, but play football.
That was too many times.
My god, I will never get over expected full stops.
Bro, Ahmed, I'm genuinely expecting. Hey, I'm expecting a Kai. Bro, I'm expecting Kai feeds kids in Germany post soon. Like, I'm expecting someone coming out saying
he feeds the donkeys. He feeds the donkeys.
Feeds the donkeys,
yeah. He does.
Feed the environment, man. You know what I mean? Environmentalist.
We'll see how the season ends, and if he can turn it around, I'll be happy. But as of right now, he needs to keep doing what he's doing, which is scoring goals and have at least decent performances. But let's go on to the next topic I want to talk to you guys about, which is what we were just on about, the striker situation. So there's a few strikers that we're linked with, and these are some pretty interesting links. Let's start off with this first tweet right here. We have Fabrizio Romano reporting, Chelsea's top priorities for the summer transfer window are a number 6 and a new striker. They are not planning with Lukaku next season, which, hey, that's good news. No Lukaku. I'm all about that. That's fine. If we can get someone better than Lukaku, I'm all for it. So let's go ahead and start with Simon Phillips reporting about Tony. Chelsea are not ruling out Ivan Toney either. Despite the current situation around his gambling charges, they are prepared to be a bit patient and wait to see what happens there. Chelsea do still like Dusan Vlahovic and Jonathan David. That's a new one. And Kolo Muani are also being monitored by Chelsea. I don't know who Kolo Muani is. What team?
He missed the goal. He missed the goal, and you know the chance in the final minute.
I was going to say he was in the France squad. He's the guy that replaced Nkunku.
That's him, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not a bad option. I would need to see more about him. But Jonathan David, I don't know if he's Chelsea level. And Dusan Vlahovic, I do like.
Jonathan David, he's stealing a living. I do not still understand how that brother's got 18 goals. I can't believe he's got 18 goals in League One, bro. It's crazy, man. He's got 18 goals in League One. I can't believe it. It's not. I don't know, man. He feels like Lacazette level to me, man. You know what the Lacazette hype. But I used to have one and stuff Lacazette at Lyon. That's what he kind of reminds me of that. But Vlahovic is a good option to have, man.
I like Vlahovic. I've been saying that for a minute now.
Is Jonathan David an actual number 9? Because I know.
Yeah, he's an actual number 9. He's an actual number 9.
He's a number 9.
Yeah, because I was going to say they play a 4-4-2, so I was just wondering if it was a
No. But when they had Renato Sanchez back last season, they were playing 4-3-3, and he was
right
9.
The thing with David is he works so much better in a 2. Like for his club and for his country, he was so much better in a 2 than rather than being a guy like by himself as not like a solo striker.
I like that we're being linked with Tony though. Still, it's still a strong link.
I can't lie to you, bro. I don't think Tony's going anywhere soon, mate. He's not going anywhere soon, man. He's got a 6 month.
Depends on the gambling charges, I think.
He's got a 6 month minimum there, mate. He's got 6 month minimum.
Oh, if it's 6 months, fine. I'm calm waiting 6 months.
No, it's a minimum. No, Scott, it's a 6 month.
No, that's
minimum.
fair. But like, again, it depends on what the ban's going to be for, like how long.
If it's like a year, surely we can get him for cheap, though, right? If it's actually a whole year, the whole season.
Yeah, but then we have a whole year of Kai Havertz again.
His value will drop.
If it's a whole year, like it started next season, yeah, it will.
How many games does Suarez get for his race stuff?
12 games, as I remember.
Okay, so he shouldn't get anything more than that.
Yeah, you know how it is, Andrew. Like they see. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. He shouldn't get anything more. He should get anything equal or more than that. He should get less games.
Oh, I do agree.
By the way, you're talking about Jonathan David. He's not a 9. He's the same as Havertz and Felix. He's not a real 9.
No, he's a 9.
No, he's a 9.
He is not. He's not a real 9.
He's a 9 prime.
You're outnumbered.
He's a 9 prime. He's a 9.
He's not.
He's a 9.
He's
not
a 9.
Prime is a 9. He plays as a 9. He's 9.
Bro, he's okay. Okay, cool. He's not a real 9. But okay.
He is though.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not. He's not a real 9. He's not.
He is a 9 prime. He plays.
What is a real 9? Like
he's a real 9.
Okay. All right. Cool. Whatever.
He doesn't play like Kai Havertz at all. He's not even the same type of player. He doesn't do that.
He's okay. He's not okay. He's not a real 9. But anyway, Tony, I don't want that guy on there.
Is Tony?
Why don't you want Tony?
Tony's gonna be a waste of money for a guy that's not really worth it, and plus he also has that like betting stuff with him. Like, why waste that money on him when we can get better players or better strikers?
Okay, so assuming the gambling charges cause the price to drop, and they're not that bad. At a bargain clearance sale deal, they're talking like these players are fucking sales items. At that price, you don't think you'd be worth it?
He's worth it. He's worth 80 million.
No.
Like you've seen this guy for the last 2 seasons scoring
80?
load of goals.
Wait, 80?
Yes, he's worth 80 million. If he didn't have all these charges. Yes,
really?
he is. He's
Okay.
To me, yeah. He scores. Okay, prime. He scores goals. Yeah, like last 2 seasons. You've seen it. He's improved from last season to this season. How many goals he got this season? Like 18, 19.
Okay, cool. I personally don't want Tony.
And he can create. He's a great striker. We need a striker what can score, and he knows the Premier League. Like, why wouldn't you want a striker like this? This guy's been unreal. Yeah, he is worth 80. I don't know.
Tony's the 3rd topmost goal scorer in the Premier League this season.
With Brentford.
Yeah. I know. Great for him. I don't want Tony.
I just don't know how you
Who's your alternative? Who
do you want prime? Yeah.
Vlahovic, right?
Some guy from probably German league or something.
No, not even. Hey, Vlahovic, the guy I want. No, I'd rather die. The guy I want, unfortunately, like he needs to wait another year probably to come to the Prem.
Who is he talking about? Do you guys know who he's talking about?
I think I know who he wants, but
I personally would want Osimhen, but like he needs another year or so. Or Kane, one of the two.
We're not getting either though.
I think Kane's gonna go to United.
I am so glad you brought up Osimhen. Let's read some news about Osimhen. All right, Chelsea's interest in Victor Osimhen. Real quick, let me just read this. Prime is growing, and some of the clubs see him as a dream signing. The decision makers of the club, alongside Graham Potter, are all clear that they need to prioritize a new striker in the summer. They want someone who will press with intensity, have pace and energy, but can also be involved well in link-up play, and of course, score plenty of goals. Prime, what were you gonna say?
Me personally, in terms of Chelsea, I want Victor Osimhen. However, I'm someone who actually watches him and actually have a vested interest in the guy because he plays for Nigeria. He's not ready for the Prem yet. I think he needs another year or so to wait.
I mean,
Because,
what? But the thing is, though, what happened? This is exactly how we approached Tchouaméni, and then we see what happened with Tchouaméni. He went off. It goes off to Real Madrid. That's the fear, isn't it?
I know. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's a thing of we still buy him anyway, and we allow him to have that year of bedding in, because I don't think he'll kick in straight away. And plus, I don't think our team, like, it's also good. It's also like good enough as well. But I don't know. Like, either we buy him now, or we buy him and, like, I guess kind of loan him back, which is also ridiculous. I don't think that would happen. But like, if I'm Osimhen's agent or his brother or whatever, I'd be telling him you don't need to move yet. You're not ready for the Prem, because I know he wants to come here. He wants to come to the Premier League, but I don't think he's development wise he's ready to come. However, on a personal Chelsea level, I want him to come here because I think he's probably the best striker around in terms of the long term.
I just don't think it's realistic for this summer, because this is a Napoli team that are going to win the league and that are probably going to make the Champions League final. You're not going to be able to negotiate with De Laurentiis.
Yeah, which is good, which is great for us. Then we can wait another year.
I don't want to wait another year.
If that's your perspective, then fair enough.
Yeah,
like this is his first like really good season, right? As well.
But Scott, I'd rather it's not his first really good season, but okay.
What,
Scott,
he played well with Lille. He played well with Lille before he went to Napoli.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he was also great. He was also great last season until injuries stunted him.
Yeah, I was on about last season.
Like, I'm someone who I actively watch this guy. I've been watching him since Frank's season. When I was telling Chelsea fans this guy's better than Tammy. I've been watching this guy. The guy's quality.
You said that back then? I don't remember.
Yes, I did. But
no, I'm taking your word for it. I'm taking your word for it.
Back then, he wasn't better than Tammy back then.
He was better than Tammy back then.
He wasn't better than Tammy back then.
He was.
Anyway,
either way, he's better than Tammy now. So
yeah, he's better than Tammy now, but he wasn't back then.
He was back then.
I'm pretty sure he scored against us. I think
he didn't score against us.
I don't think he did. No.
He played for Lille and he didn't score against us. Tammy scored against Lille though, on both games.
Yeah, hold that.
Oh wow!
No, it's not hold that. It's just a thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Osimhen's one of the best around, and Tammy can't make. He's on the best.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying back then.
No, I'm talking about God of Frogs in the chat.
Anyway.
For me, like going to the previous player, like I would rather like someone like Ivan Toney, because I know what I think I can get from him. Like in Chelsea, he will score goals. Okay, man. Like he can score goals. Like that's what we need. Like we need a goal scorer, and Ivan Toney brings that. But with this guy, he's gonna be 150 million, maybe. Like they're going to win the league, they might win the Champions League. Like this guy's price is going to be rocket high, and we know what we
in the years. It'll be worth it in a year or two time. Let me ask this though, then, right?
Maybe, or he could be a flop like Kai Havertz,
or Tony can be a flop. But anyway, let me ask this though: what is our style of play going into the future then?
Oh, by the way, he did score against us.
Depends on the man. Depends on
what? Okay, what is our style? Because like you Tony was mentioned, Vlahovic, Osimhen, and David. Like these are all, they're not exactly the same. So, what is exactly our style of play going into the future?
Well, it depends again on the.
Well, we might not even have Potter in the future, so I don't even know. Let's be honest. Like, we could have like a defensive mind manager, like, or attacking one. Like, I don't know.
We've got Sterling.
Right. Okay.
Udrick, Madueke. Maybe Felix is staying. We don't know. We've got Nkuku. What forward suits that?
I still have no idea. It could be counter attack. It could be like holding the ball and creating a lot of chances, like that type of style.
We don't know because we haven't got a striker to replace them, so we don't know.
Yeah, it's quite hard to for me to figure out.
Until we have a striker that plays with them, we have no idea what striker suits well with them, so we don't know.
I will say as well, based on what is reported here, with it being Simon Phillips, I'm always going to take things with a grain of salt. All of the strikers that have been mentioned in the two tweets we've seen, only one of them, I would say, doesn't fit what they're looking to do in terms of what is being said here.
Oh, what's he meant to you?
No, that's Vlahovic. He's not good in build-up play.
Oh,
he offers nothing. His link-up play is like his weakest area.
We got Nkuku coming in as well. So we got Nkuku coming.
That's the thing. Like that's the biggest question mark of all of this is Nkuku. I don't know what their plans are with him, especially if again the reports to be believed with Felix. Like, I don't know what the plan is. I have no idea what the plan is in terms of, are you going to, like, because if we stick with the 4-3-3, I think that works. You can play him and Felix together as the two, like, 10s behind the striker. But then where does Havertz fit? And where does this new striker fit? I don't understand what the plan is. I don't know.
I don't think Havertz does fit.
That's fair, but then I don't see the, like, I see the way that Potter's speaking about him and I see the way that he's using him. And I'm like, is that still going to be the case?
He doesn't have a choice. Like, Potter doesn't want to use Oba, so I just think he doesn't have a choice, really.
I mean, if we're playing with like a false 9 equivalent kind of thing right now, where Kai's not even leading the line right now, I think he does have an option. I think there are players there. You know, we saw what Carney could do. You know, Felix can probably play a similar role to that. It's not ideal. We've had Raheem Sterling that could play something like that.
Carney's not a forward.
I know he's not.
He's
I'm aware. He's a midfielder. He's more suited to the number 10 role, but 10 and false 9 are similar. They're not the same, but they are similar. So, and he's young. He can't be adapted to that role. I mean, there are options. He's sticking with Havertz for a reason. We can only infer what it could be based on what he's saying there. He sees something in him that we don't. But I don't know. There are a lot of question marks, and the biggest one is the Nkunku one. Something there isn't a question mark about, though, is the future Romelu Lukaku. It seems like he's not going to work out. So, Inter CEO Murata, Lukaku deal, he will return to Chelsea at its straight loan. It's part of the deal. Then we will see. Lukaku is not in good condition yet. We are still waiting to see the real Romelu as we saw in the past. Not going to happen.
Run it back.
He's not. No.
Again, going back to that tweet, he offers none, apart from the scores goals, and even that's debatable. He offers none of what they want. He doesn't press. He doesn't link up play.
You don't want Ivan Toney, but you want Lukaku. Okay.
Internet ran out.
Prime got put backstage, man. Prime.
We should try to sell this guy realistically if we can, like 30, 20 million.
Chris, I was joking, by the way. I was joking.
Atletico Madrid is probably the only one that's realistically going to happen. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what big club is going to sign Romelu Lukaku right now.
You'll find someone to sell him to.
Marshall, is there any links to Atletico Madrid?
Yeah, there
I
was.
feel like I don't need him. I feel like I don't need him at all.
Exactly.
They signed a better player. They signed a better player than him for like 3 mil. Like,
you know what it is? Maybe we should watch what club Conte goes to. Then we can give it to him.
Or we can give him to.
He's probably going back to Milan. It's Conte.
Probably.
Yeah, and if Conte goes there, then
honestly, might go back to Juve.
They can't afford it, man.
Yeah, Scott, that's a good one. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know what's going on with Allegri. Juve is very much underperforming, especially with the rules and stuff that they got hit with. I could see Allegri getting sacked and Conte filling in for him.
Can Juventus afford him?
That's for Juventus.
Juve won't give him.
I'm just thinking straight swap for Ivan Toney. They can have Lukaku.
Why
would Thomas Frank take him?
What?
He's a
Texas Blue. Texas Blue. I don't want Lukaku. I don't know what you're saying.
You heard you say it. You want him.
Yeah, I said that was a joke.
Yeah, too late.
Wait, Chris. Why would Thomas Frank take Lukaku?
Because, like I said, like if he's like banned for like a year, maybe or half a month.
Yes, but do you know what he'll do instead?
What?
Brentford will do what they always do and go and sign someone from like the Dutch league or the Belgian league, or go and find someone else
they will scout,
who their data supports what they want to do. Like they'll go and do the same thing they did with Joao
Lukaku. What's the worst they can do? Reject us? We're back to like plan A with it, or plan B or whatever. Like you just throw him back to Inter for loan.
And another thing to mention is that Thomas Frank's teams press, and we all know Lukaku's like a pressing team. It's just not happening.
I can't believe how downhill this guy. We bought him for 100 million.
You watch Championship?
What? What are you on about Championship?
Wait, who are you asking that to,
Yeah,
Price?
Scott,
Oh,
do you
okay.
watch Championship?
As in the Championship, sometimes, not that often.
Oh, okay. Do you know who Ben Brereton is?
Yes, Brent. What the quote unquote
Blackburn.
Chilean one?
Yeah, Blackburn.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on him?
I haven't seen. I actually haven't watched any of Blackburn. I actually haven't watched that much Championship in general this season, but I've not seen anything of him. I think I saw a little bit of him on international duty, and that was about it.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll probably just go loan this guy out.
You know he's already going somewhere else, right? He's going. I'm pretty sure he's already got a club.
Oh yeah, he's moving on a free to Villarreal, I think.
Yeah. He's moving to Villarreal on a free.
Yeah. Just curious.
Listen, we'll see what's going to happen with this guy. Hopefully, he does have to come back to Chelsea, but hopefully he's right out again.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it. I think
Yeah,
that's the way I saw it. I think the CEO was just confirming, okay, it's a straight loan. He's going back there. That doesn't rule out him going back. I mean, to be honest, they wouldn't take him back because he's been poor. But it's just it's just confirming what the deal actually is.
Yeah, I agree. The next thing I want to talk about, which is why I brought up the Atletico Madrid, him possibly going to Atletico Madrid. Who knows? Felix. There's a price tag on Felix, apparently. Let's see what it is, and let's discuss it and see if it's even worth it. So, on Joao Felix, we have Simon Johnson and the Athletic reporting. Indications are that Atletico will be prepared to accept a figure in the region of £80 million rather than anything close to the ridiculous release clause. Working in Chelsea's favor is the fact that Joao Felix's relationship with Diego Simeone is widely considered to be at a Thomas Tuchel, Romelu Lukaku level of broken.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
It also depends on
comparison.
It also depends on how they continue going forward. Because as I said, they're doing really well now. Like Depay's gone in for $3 million, which is wild, and has done brilliantly so far.
Oh my God! Aubameyang's in the dressing room for Barcelona. Damn. Sorry, guys.
I don't know.
Well, Aubameyang's in the Barcelona dressing room. Sorry, that's why. Like,
I think Guardiola was at the game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
crazy, man.
I just don't know how it really works out because we've got like Nkunku coming, who's apparently similar to his style. We've got Kai Havertz, who's not an actual striker, who likes to be behind a striker. We have a lot of people who like being behind a striker. So that's what it is. Like if we bring in Felix, like do we get rid of Kai Havertz? I wouldn't mind it. Like Kai Havertz like going to
I wouldn't mind it either.
Or anywhere.
This is what
yeah.
This is what I was talking about earlier. I have no idea what the plan is. I have no idea what the plan is with some of these players. Some players is obvious. Like you can tell that, like for example, Pulisic is like almost certainly gone. I think Ziyech is gone. Like Gallagher might be gone. Like there's certain players you can kind of tell they're going to go. There's some of these players I don't know where they fit. I don't know how it all fits together.
Yeah, it just seems like they're just throwing a lot
Too
like
much
behind the
talent.
strikers.
Sometimes you have too much talent, man. Yeah.
Yeah, too much
Yeah,
talent.
but the thing
goals.
is, but Chris, the way I see it though is Joao Felix has been brought in to replace Mason Mount. It's been very clear. He's doing what Mason Mount was supposed to be doing for the past 2 seasons, and he's doing it.
Can I say if we keep Kai Havertz and buy Felix in and Nkunku, we have Sterling.
We have a lot of attackers.
Felix, we have Madueke, like you said, Felix, Nkunku as well. Like all these players, yeah. Like surely someone else has to go out. Surely.
Let me give you this, right? Let me say something. If they're serious about buying a striker, I don't see how or why we need to buy Felix. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If he hadn't scored yesterday, he'd be putting the same shit that we got on Mount and Kai Havertz for. He's got 2 goals in 10 games, no assists. Yeah? Everyone raves about him because he does little flicks and tricks and stuff like that. But what does he actually do? He had a shot in the first half. I've seen harder pass backs than that shot in the first half. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's face it, I don't think he's worth the hassle for 18 million or above. We've already got Nkunku coming in. And he's less.
Yeah.
And I think he offers more. He's got skill and he's got P&P. This guy, I wouldn't spend the money on him for going for a striker. I don't see the point. I really don't. I would go for a striker.
I think I do agree with that, but like I think like a lot of people say, if you got like a lot of good talent, like maybe that can take you so far, and then maybe the goals will start coming because like Mason Mount isn't a talented player. We all know that. Like he's a hard worker. He's reliable, I guess.
Chris, wasn't that the narrative that was put out a few years ago?
No, yeah, like I'm not like keen on it either. I'm actually not keen on like Joao Felix. He even hit the post again when he scored. Like it could have went out. Like could have been one of them again. Like posting out, but he got posted in. He doesn't really get a lot of goals either. But like I wouldn't. I don't think I would spend 80 million on him either.
What is he? Does he like? Are we being? Let me ask you a question. Does he even offer? Does he even create any chances? Really?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like he does. Yeah,
no, he does. Do you remember that in the first game he played against Fulham, that one with Havertz, and he.
Okay, you've gone all the way back to Fulham. That's like 9 games ago.
That's
just the first thing that came to mind.
Well, that's okay. So let's do this. Did he do anything yesterday?
Yes, he did.
That's about
it. I disagree about the thing with Felix because I think, regardless of the difference between him, Havertz and Mount, is the fact of like he is still having an effect on the game in terms of the way we attack. Like you can quite clearly see that he is better on the ball than basically every other attacker we have. Like he is so far ahead of everyone else that we have. Like the next closest person to him is like in terms of in the attack is probably Sterling. Like after that, like I don't know who else is close to him. He is that what he does in terms of creating. I'm not saying creating chances. I'm saying creating space and creating, not by doing the runs that we used to say for Werner, but in terms of like occupying players on the ball that create space for other guys to then get on the ball from that. I think it personally is invaluable. And I think what he is able to do in terms of connecting everything, in terms of, as I said, the link-up play. I think he does need to score more goals, but I can allow that because the thing was that I allowed it with Mount and Havertz to a certain extent when they had good performances. When I didn't allow it with Mount and Havertz was when they were shit. That's when I didn't allow the fact they didn't score.
To add on to that, before you go, Andrew, to add on to that, I kind of agree with Andrew, but I also agree with Scott. The thing is, for the price, I don't think it's worth it. But we used to we to this day rag on Mason for how he's performed, and we ragged on him last season for the GNA but not having the performances. And I've said it myself. I'd rather have Mason Mount, who gave me the performances but not the output, than what I have right now, what I had last season. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm not comparing the players. I'm just saying the performances for Felix have been there, but the output hasn't. But am I going to be paying 80 million pounds for performances and no output? I don't necessarily think I would. So, I mean, Andrew, what were you going to say to that?
I just think that we're so, I'm not saying he's bad player, but I'm just saying we're so like starved to what we have that we were warned about this when he started. This is the type of player we're going to get. He's not going to be big on the output. And the way we're playing and the way we're set up, I need players with more output, and this guy's not going to give me that. So I wouldn't bother with the 80 million at all. I would get an actual striker. This guy.
Whoa, heavy breathing.
Head to the mic, man. Jesus Christ Almighty.
Who is that?
That was Prime. I just muted him.
Jesus.
All right, Prime.
I thought it was me.
Sorry.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he's the fit, really. I'm just not. I just feel that we'd have to carry him like we do with Kai in that. And I just think it's just not worth it, if I'm being honest.
I kind of see where you're coming from.
For me,
you want to get a striker.
By the way, 87 of you guys watching, smash that like button, please. Go ahead.
I think personally you can get both, and I'll put it to you this way. If we go forward and we play, say we go back to the 4-2-3-1, of all the 3 players I'm not counting Mount, of all the 3 players we could have playing in the 10, I'm playing Felix as the first guy, over Nkunku and Havertz as the 10.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't, Scott. I wouldn't at all.
That's fair. I get why. I do get why in terms of like your reasons why, but for me, the thing with Nkunku is I have no idea what level he is currently playing at, what level he is going to be playing at, because from everything I've heard since he's come back from injury, he's not been great. Havertz can fuck off back to Germany for all I care. I don't care about his March purple patch. Like, of those three, if we were to have a number 9, say we get a Tony or whatever, and you ask me who am I having as the 10 to be able to link up with them and create chances for them, I'm picking Felix over the other two at the moment.
So where
that may change between now and the end of the season. Like, obviously, if the performances start dipping, then a conversation might be had, or the conversation might be different. But for me right now, I'm picking him over the other two.
So where would you play Nkunku?
You wouldn't.
As I said, it depends on. This is the problem again. We go back to is like, what is the plan in terms of formation going forward? Oh, if we're going to continue with this 3 at the back, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with any formation we want to play, as long as we're sticking to something, as long as we have an idea of what we're playing. Because then I can envision where players are going to play in my head, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and that makes sense. Right now, I'm trying to work out whether we're playing a 3 or a 4, because it massively varies who's playing and where they're playing. Because like, if we play with the 3 at the back, how we're playing in the 3-4-3, I'm more than happy having Nkunku and Felix as the 2 guys behind the 10. I'm more than happy doing that. Same way I'm more than happy at being Nkunku and let's say Mudryk, or Nkunku and Sterling, or Felix and Sterling if Felix ends up staying past this season or whatever. But like, I need to know what the fuck we're going to do going forward, because I don't know.
And that's why I asked that earlier in terms of the striker.
But we don't know what. But
Go ahead.
How can we determine what striker we're going to?
Wait, what about the cricket thing? Like, no, but like that's why. Yeah, but I asked, what are we doing going forward? What's our?
I don't know. Like the thing with the striker thing is, I think the striker thing is a little bit easier.
We answered it earlier.
I know, but that still applies to what Scott's talking about. We don't know.
I think the thing with me with the striker thing, Prime, is with the striker, depending on what type of striker you go for, I think it might be easier it's easier to change formations with certain strikers. Like, for example, if we were to go for like an Osimhen or a Tony or someone like that, I think because of, especially, I'm just going to take Tony for example, because his all-round game to me is fairly solid, like his link-up play and his finishing and like his creativity and whatnot in the pressing. I think he can work no matter what formation we play. So I think it doesn't really matter as much. Same way with someone like an Osimhen. I don't think, obviously you've seen more of him than I have, but I don't think with him you can play him either in a 3-back, like a 3-4-3, or a 4-2-3-1, I should say, for example, and it's not a problem. If we had someone like a Lukaku, then it makes a difference, because you need to work out who the hell you're going to have around him. Whereas I don't think I think with the guys we're being linked to, because they're like all-round game is fairly good, like their fundamentals are fairly good in terms of their all-round game, it's easier to put them into a system. Like with the creators, it's like, because we have so many different creators and they play in different ways, and you've got some guys that are more natural wingers, some guys who are 10s, some guys who are this or that or whatever, it's trying to work out how they fit. The striker, I think, is actually easier to fit in with the type of profile of striker we're trying to go for.
Well, on the topic of potential striker, there is also another potential position where we're going to be recruiting as well. And I'm very curious as to see how he's going to fit into this team, if we even need him or if he's even necessary. So let's talk about Vardiol. There are still strong links towards Vardiol. Here we have Fabrizio Romano reporting Josko Vardiol remains among Man City top targets for the summer window. He's really appreciated by Pep Guardiola and by the board too. Chelsea, Liverpool are also in the race. Nothing is decided and there's no release clause for this summer. And then I have another tweet here on Vardiol from The Athletic. Chelsea's interest in Josko Vardiol has not disappeared, and the struggles of Kalidou Koulibaly in his debut season in the English game at age 31 mean the summer move cannot be discounted. However, there are several factors working against it. The former Badiashile has impressed Chelsea's coaching staff, who might be reluctant to stunt the 21-year-old's development by sending another first-team defender. Listen, Vardiol is a really, really good defender. And it's hard for me to sit here and say I don't want Vardiol for the sake of Badiashile. But to be fair, Badiashile has come into this team and has really, really made it really hard for Graham Potter to pick who he's going to put in that left center back position, because he has been absolutely fantastic in that position. And to do it at the age that he's doing it in, it's very impressive. So he's come here and he has turned heads completely, because prior to this transfer window in January, no one knew who the fuck Badiashile was. Very few people did. I'm not going to say no one did, but very few people knew who the hell this guy was. Before I let the panel talk about this, by the way, nearly 80 of you guys watching, make sure you're smashing that like button. Help us get to 40 likes. Get on it, boys. But who wants to take this one? Vardiol. Strong opinions on him?
We don't need another defender, man. We're becoming like Defender FC. Let's relax, man. Calm down. Let's calm down, guys. Calm down. I like Vardiol. Kavada's a good talent, but I just don't think we need him.
Why do we think it's necessarily for left centre back? If we're playing this back three, would Vardiol not be able to play in the centre?
But again, you were speaking about style of play, Prime.
That's why I'm asking.
But again, that's what I'm asking. It's not gonna. We don't know if the back three is gonna be the final style play.
None of us know anything. That's what. None of us know anything. That's why I'm asking.
But Vardiol works even in a back three or a back four.
He does.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's not the system. This is just bodies. Like how. Like, I really like Gvardiol. I think he's a really good centre back, but I don't understand this, because unless you are planning on selling Koulibaly, which if you're going to sell Koulibaly to get Gvardiol, I'm down for, 100% down for, but then like, why is he still playing? And like,
he's
if you're going to sell him now, like I know he had a mistake yesterday, right? But when this came out before, so this came out 5 days ago, this tweet, when he was in a good run of form. So like, I'm just trying to work out like again, it's like, I don't understand what the plan is, because like these guys, like Vivell and the others, I want to trust them because they've given me a lot of reason to, but I don't understand this because, like, again, where does he fit? Because like, if you're going to carry on with the back three, personally, I don't think Cucurella works as a wing back as well. I think he's better suited as either a left fullback or a left centre back. Personally, I think wing back he's okay. I think he can do some things. I think going forward he's a little bit limited, but he's good. But I think he works better either as a natural fullback or a centre back. So that's one position taken. You've then got Badiashile. That's your two left centre backs taken care of if you're going to continue in the back three. Central centre back, you've got Silva and Koulibaly, and then right centre back, I would not put Gvardiol there personally. But then again, you've got what's his name? You've got Fofana and Chalobah, who I like both, and I'm not going to say they're better than Gvardiol, but I like them both. But again, I don't really want a left-footed centre back playing on the right. But then we've got Colwell coming back, and apparently he's seen as someone they want to invest in the squad. We're talking 10 centre backs here at this point. Like, what's the plan?
You know what this feels
where
like?
does this all fit?
It feels like we how we're trying to fit semi-attackers in our team. Like, it feels like that.
It just feels like we're stockpiling players, and I don't really understand why when we're trying
to build two squads.
Well, not necessarily. Cucurella is a left back or a left
centre back as well.
Yeah, but like he's only playing there because of certain other reasons. Because Koulibaly can't play out on the left because he gets dragged out and isolated, and also because Thiago Silva's out injured. Next season will more than likely be Silva's last season. We need someone who, like, from everything people have said about Vardy, from everything people have.
What? We still have Badiashile. We have Fofana. We even have.
Yeah, Chris, you keep talking. I'm not like I wasn't. Everything I've heard about people have said about Vardiol, like what Scott has said about Vardiol during the World Cup and everything. He's apparently a great defender. He's apparently a leader, and I don't know if Scott said this, but someone said he can play in the center of the three. If that's also
He
true,
can.
and if we're playing this back three, we don't know what we're doing. But if this guy's such a great defender, why not? Thiago Silva will be gone in a year's time. We don't know if Koulibaly doesn't adapt, he might end up being gone. Fofana just doesn't stay fit. Like, why not
Wouldn't
go
you
get him?
want to look at him the next season? And then again, someone else might snatch him up.
But he'll be gone. But he'll be gone to Man City in the summer. And then who else will be
Again,
there?
I do kind of get it, but it's just as I said, like I just don't get how you're managing minutes here across the season, especially if we're not in Europe. Which, let's be honest, is more than likely we're not going to be in Europe. And I said this yesterday that if we're in the Conference League, just play the youth players and the fringe players. Don't even bother playing the first team players in this till at the earliest the semi-final. Like, I just don't get how are you managing minutes here, because like, even with the Cucurella thing, I get that he is a left-sided, like, not a centre back really, but he plays there really well. Like, he's on form at the moment. Like, he things are going well for him there, and even if he moves out of that position again, as I said, I'm not saying that he's on the same level of Guardiola because he's not. But when Colwill comes back, reportedly they want to involve him in the squad. So that's all of a sudden, like, I don't see how you manage to like fit
Cole's
everyone
barely
in.
played. Cole's barely played at Brighton.
He's played a bit. Like, he's played a decent amount.
He doesn't play consistently.
But even so, say they are going to involve him in the squad, he'll probably be the backup left centre back, or he'll be like 7th choice or 6th choice centre back. So I just don't understand how you're going to manage all the minutes for everyone. I don't work as if this means like Koulibaly might be going. As I said, I'm fine with that swap. Well, not necessarily a swap, but like Koulibaly going out and we get Gavardio. I'm fine with that. I just need to understand what is the plan with some of these players then, because it just goes back to something that we've talked about for ages. Like, if this guy is not a part of the club going past the summer, why are they playing? What's the point of including them?
I mean,
Maybe some of them are playing out of. Maybe some of them are playing out of like convenience. Koulibaly's playing because Silva's injured, and who else can play in the center of the three?
I would argue
Chalobah can't play. I don't think he's not that good in the center of the three.
I don't think Chalobah's going to be here next season. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like he's falling out of favor with Graham Potter.
Then that I don't understand, because he was brilliant. This, like, when he was.
I'm not saying he's going to be sold, but I'm saying he might get like loaned out or something. I don't
understand the loan personally, because like, you already loaned him out, like, before you brought him back into the team. He's performed well. What's then the point to just loan him back out? Because at that point you're accepting that so when he was playing well, he got into the team. You got other players in, and he was still playing and playing well. Like, there was a point during the season he was the second best centre back in the team, and then you're just going to loan him back out. Like, I don't see the point personally with that. And again, like, even if Chalobah gets sold, that's a guy that's mainly he's right back and right centre back cover. I understand you can do it. I just don't feel comfortable getting a left-footed centre back and playing them on the right. Like, I know he can. He has played there before. I think it works just better in terms of positionally speaking, in terms of the options they will have on the ball and how they are able to distribute the ball, having a right-footed player on the right and a left-footed player on the left.
I don't even know that Chalobah would take a loan though, because like we've heard reports that he's been getting interest from Italy for a permanent move. He might want to take that, and I'd say he's established enough as a first teamer that you don't really take loans at this level. You know, he could go out and really get a good move for himself. So I don't think he'd be up for a loan personally. I think it would be a permanent if he did leave.
I just don't see how he fits in the team anymore. Potter's not starting him. Fofana's cemented that spot. If we do get a Vardio, where do you put him in? Because the way I see it too, Kalidou Koulibaly is probably going to be rotated with Thiago Silva. Ever since he's taken that center mid role of the back three, he's been performing better than he would at the left center back. And then at left center back, you have potentially what could be Colwell and Cucurella. So Badiashile too. Yeah, exactly. I don't see room for him in this squad. And I think what Scott has said, he has been. Listen, I don't blame Chalobah for not being stupendous when he makes a cameo appearance, but when he has a run of games, he does perform well. I think he's a good center back. He just doesn't play right now. He doesn't play over Fofana.
I'm getting the minerals, man.
Agree to disagree. But anyway, if we're doing that, does that not mean we should then be targeting a left back or a left wing back instead of Vardiol?
Well, we have
the left back situation. Is there?
No, I'm sorry.
Left back.
There's Matson
Yeah,
now as well. Isn't there Matson now that's coming from?
Matson's been a big one. Yeah.
Again, this is the problem. I have no idea what the plan is come the summer. I have no idea from a squad building perspective. Like in the January transfer window, I could see clearly what was needed, what they were going after, what they were doing. Like you could see it clearly. It made complete sense.
I think
most of what they're looking to do, most of what they're looking to do in the summer makes sense. Like with hopefully the goalkeeper thing's true. Praying to Christ it's true. The striker thing makes sense. The 6 makes sense. The outgoings and the centre-back situation makes no sense. And then, as I said, the attacking situation outside of the striker makes no sense.
Well, Scott, I'm so happy you brought it up. And I'm sorry, gentlemen, but we must continue on. Let's talk about the goalkeeper situation. Kepa Arrizabalaga, reported by Matt Law here, has undoubtedly improved. This was 19th. Today. Yeah,
okay,
pretty much.
Never mind.
The Kepa Arrizabalaga has undoubtedly improved and is not a bad goalkeeper, but Chelsea need a better keeper if they're going to achieve their long-term targets, which I think after yesterday's game, the game before that, we kind of see that we still are in need of one.
Is that a report or an opinion piece?
Probably an opinion piece.
I would also argue he hasn't improved.
Wait. What do you mean he hasn't improved? Because
we'll come back to it. We'll come back. Chris, hold on to that thought. I'll go to you right after this, right? So on Edouard Mendy. So here we have Simon Johnson and The Athletic reporting. There is a strong possibility Edouard Mendy, who was first choice for the previous 2 seasons, will be sold after being relegated to number 2 behind Kepa by Potter. Chelsea are considering buying a goalkeeper, so there may be that may impact Gabriel Slonina. As things stand, a decision on whether he stays to be one of the 3 in the senior squad for 2023-24 or goes out on loan will wait until the preseason is well underway. So potential that Edouard Mendy is probably going to leave. And then last year we got on David Raya. Cesar Azpilicueta has spoken to Brentford goalkeeper and Manchester United target David Raya about a potential move to Stamford Bridge. Brentford feel that Raya will depart the club at the end of the season, and with the Spaniard reportedly turning down 2 contract offers, the most recent one being in January. This is being reported by Jacobs Ben via Offside, or Ben Jacobs, whatever. Chris, tell me about Kepa and how he's improved.
One quick point, though. Azpilicueta also talked to Kepa, convinced him to come to Stamford Bridge. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Like, he might be cursed.
Did he?
Yeah. I know. I'm very certain. Like on Twitter, I saw like.
I don't remember.
It's a while ago. Like, he talked to Kepa because like obviously they both play for Spain and all that. But
I see that.
Convinced him. But with Kepa, I felt like he has definitely improved from like especially from like Lampard. Like, you saw like the worst from Kepa, and now you've seen like under Tuchel, he's like working hard, like as like a sub bench, doing his bit. And now this season, he's kept a lot of clean sheets. He's kept us in games. He has like the highest still goalkeeper save percentage. Oh my god, I couldn't get the words out. So I think he has definitely improved. So I don't know where you think he hasn't improved from, Scott.
Still got a bozo.
Improved because there's 2 things of this. Are you saying he's improved his performances or as a keeper?
I think as a keeper as well, because, okay, I will point out one thing here. In corners, I know he doesn't do it loads, but in corners and crosses or whatever, he does actually come out and try punching it. Even though it looks a bit shaky, he used to never do that as well. I remember we used to, like, cry out for that. He has actually done that this season, I've noticed, a lot more. So that's definitely one improvement I can definitely say he's done in performances.
I'd say that's more performance-related because his ability to punch and catch those balls is still not good.
Because he's short.
That's my point. It's like his performances have improved. Yes, him as a player is the same as it has always been. Like his shot stopping ability was good under Sarri. Like that's the one thing you can say about him. His shot stopping ability under Sarri is really good. His ball playing ability is still good and has always been good. Like his ability to sweep is really good. He has had the same deficiencies for what are we looking at 4 years, 5 years now. Like he's not in some deficiencies he can't improve on because of the height, which is fair enough. But some deficiencies like we mentioned with the corners, with the crosses, he can improve on, and he hasn't in 4 or 5 years. Like, for every save he makes a fuck up or 2, like he did yesterday.
Yeah, he did do a fuck up
That's
at
the
the
thing.
end.
Like, this is my thing, and this is why I never got on the Kepa thing of like fully. Like, I gave him his flowers and he performed well, but it never changed anything. Like, I've always been on get him at, like, he can leave, he can go. We need to improve on him, because no matter how many saves he makes, he has a dropped cross, not coming for a cross, not claiming a corner, letting someone get ahead of him, like failing to save a shot that he should save. Like, he's done it multiple times this season as well. People forget that as well. But yeah, his performances have improved, like, across the season for the most part. But I've always said, like, if they're both on form, they're both in the right headspace, I'm taking Mendy over Kepa. I think Mendy, as an all-round keeper, is better. The only thing Mendy is really bad on, apart from penalties, is his ability to sweep. That's the only thing he is really, really bad on.
With Mendy as well, when he's on that ball, sometimes he's just overthinking it. Sometimes as well, like, I think he needs to, like, maybe get out of his own head.
Someone said it. He has that bozo gene, right? Someone said
that.
I feel.
Potentially, but I've also seen moments where he's been brilliant on the ball. There was a game
he
where
has had moments,
pings a 60-yard ball. He literally pings a 60-yard ball, like, and it causes, like, straight. It led to a chance.
I mean, to be fair, he started the. You're going to say it, Oliver? The Champions League pass to Chilwell? Yeah.
Yeah. Also remember Champions League one when he went to kick it, he kicked almost his own
goal.
So
are we praising players for the Champions League?
Shut up! No, we're not. Okay, I'm just saying, like, he has the ability to do it from time to time. Okay, I knew someone was gonna say that. No, we're not.
Just going back to Kepa, like, this is the thing. It's like, give him his flowers in terms of this season. His performance has improved. He's still the same Kepa that's here under Sarri. He's still the same guy. Nothing about him has changed. He's still the same guy. The only thing that we may legitimately miss from Kepa is his on the pitch leadership abilities. That's the only thing we may legitimately miss from Sullivan.
Which really good except for that one.
Oh, his penalty saving record is massively overrated.
How is it overrated? Because where I look at it, like, every shootout
because
he saved 1 or 2 at least.
He failed to save 12 penalties.
No, yeah, that's the case. Yeah, that's
11
one
penalties,
game.
whatever it was.
No, yeah. He didn't save a single penalty that game. But Scott, like, any game before that, any shootout we've had, he saved 1 or 2.
Scott, you're only looking at last season, though.
What?
Right?
What, as in his penalty record, you mean, or?
You're saying it's overrated, but you're only looking at last season.
There's only the one shootout Scott's looking at, to be honest. No, Scott, I guarantee you, without even looking at records, I know he saved 1 or 2.
It might be bad. I genuinely don't know. I will check.
No, you said something. What was it you said? Something about you said something like you failed to save 11 or 12.
That Liverpool game.
Yeah,
and that Van Dijk. That Van Dijk penalty. Like, I don't know how Kepa didn't save that Van Dijk penalty. I still remember that.
Scott,
oh no, his penalty record is arse, by the way.
How is it arse?
His save percentage of penalties is 29%.
And how many? And we've had a fair few shootouts.
Hold on, no, but what's most goalkeepers' penalty record?
Let me go and find.
It's 24%.
Because you can't. Because
I guarantee it's what Brian checks.
Prime is 24% because they give penalties an XG of 0.76, so it's 24%.
No. But if his one is bad, then because when I was telling people Mendy's record is terrible, people were telling me no, keepers are not supposed to save penalties. But now we can't backtrack on that and say Kepa's is bad.
He's a good penalty stopper because literally every game until that Liverpool game, he was saving a penalty at least once or twice. And I always I remember me and Marshall have talks about that, and he stopped on Kepa, and I said yes, bring on Kepa, and Marshall was saying you would relegate our team if Marshall remembers, and he saved a penalty or 2 that game. Like I always felt
shameless,
like I can.
Chris.
No, but I always felt like I could back
and besides those two cup finals, like Kepa's not why we lost. We know why we lost. It was a certain guy.
I didn't say he's why we lost.
Can we cut to the chase, guys? Yeah, let's cut to the chase. Let me just finish, guys, here quickly. Kepa's not number 1 goalkeeper material. Okay,
we know that. We know.
Yeah, he's number 2 goalkeeper material. We don't need to argue about his statistics and that stuff. At the end of the day, we need to bring in someone that can be a number 1 goalkeeper for us that can keep the majority. The majority.
I would.
Now, whoever made that, whoever they may be, I've obviously
Ahmed.
Obviously, you like Ter Stegen.
Yes.
I think there's obviously. I don't really mind the Brentford goalkeeper. I think he's a good option to have.
Raya.
This,
Ahmed,
would-
yeah,
I
that
would
goes
just
to
buy
my
him too.
Ahmed. That goes to my question. Who does
Yeah.
everyone want?
for
Mine.
me, for
Sagan.
myself, I have two options. For me, I think
You're Barcelona
Lafont
players, man.
is a good option. He's still a bit young. He's still a bit young though. He's
Who
still
did you
a bit
say?
on the younger side, but
Raya's
I
young.
thought
He wants to
Lafont
stay
from
again.
Nantes.
Oh,
Lafont
Who?
from Nantes. You know.
Oh, okay.
Not Lafont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the guy next to Marshall? Was that Oliver?
Yeah.
Who do you want?
I take.
Sorry, I just want to.
Mannion.
I do just want to go back, by the way, to the conversation we were having about penalty saves. This is a goalkeeper I just decided to pick because on a list I found of it was like the 10 best penalty saves or the 10 most penalty saves. The Wojciech Szczesny was 9th in that list, by the way. His penalty record is 42% save percentage in penalties.
does it say how many shootouts they do? Because I know Kepa's done quite a few. And I feel like that Liverpool game really like hurt that record as well because like he did concede 11.
Yeah, that's a huge outlier.
But I know this guy
Yeah,
was
true.
Yeah, but I will still say this guy was saving penalties like at least once or twice in Europa Leagues and Super Cups,
for that.
domestic
But
cups.
then I could use the argument that we shouldn't use it if he saved them because that's a huge outlier if he saved loads of penalties in a penalty shootout.
But
But it's not a huge outlier because he's a good penalty saver.
he
That's
is
not
a
a
good
huge outlier.
I don't care. He's a crap goalie.
That's
don't
it, yeah,
care.
like
he is
No,
another
but then
goalie.
but Andrew, then why bring that up if you don't care? Just say that in the first place.
Because I'm listening to this conversation about penalty saves, penalty shootouts. I don't care. He's a crap goalkeeper. I don't care.
Agreed, but then why say it's
No,
an
no fairness,
outlier
Andrew
then?
didn't
Just
bring
say
up the
that that's not-
penalties.
Because
Andrew
someone
didn't.
said it was an
Anyway,
outlier that he conceded
Andrew,
a-
who do you want? Andrew, who do you want?
It's time to go! Kepa's gotta go. Oliver,
Andrew,
who's your pick
Andrew, who do
for
you want?
goalkeeper?
Okay,
Wait, we never got Oliver's.
I said Mannion.
I want
Okay.
Mannion, I want Cobble, I want Raya, I want Sanchez. Who else?
Anything but
Jesus.
Kepa.
You know who I
Right.
take? You know what I take?
Hang
You know what I take?
Why?
Oblak.
Oh,
He's
bloody
I don't know how-
still?
Yeah, he's
I
30
think
years old. He's 30 years old.
No.
Who?
Sorry,
Who's that?
I'm getting
Oblak.
really into like looking at penalty save
Who?
records. I should probably stop. Quite interesting.
Who did you say?
I said I'll take an
Oblak.
Oblak. Oblak.
No.
I haven't heard too much of him
No.
like last couple
Chris,
of
All
seasons.
Black's
but
fallen off.
Chris.
He's fallen off.
The All Blacks train is. I was leading the All Black train for a few years.
I
It's
loved
fine.
Oblak.
That's the
man.
thing. Yeah, I was on the All Black train like 2 years ago.
He's
Yeah.
Screw it.
fallen off
Bring
since
back
we were linked to
Courtois.
him.
Wait. Andrew, who was the second guy you said?
Cobble from Dortmund.
Oh, he
Oh, okay.
did really good
Dribble.
against us actually.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
give me Emmy Martinez from Aston Villa. There's
No, Martinez is not that guy.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think he's number one material.
Why?
I
don't know.
He is a good penalty saver.
No, guys. He's up your alley. He's a great penalty saver. So why did he win again?
He is a good one. I can't lie. He's a good one.
Yeah.
He's
Anyway,
probably
He's a leader on the pitch.
And he's
Anyway,
on
I
the
want-
bench.
I want Mike Magnon. He's Milan.
He's my number one as well.
Yeah. I heard stuff about him. How old is he as well? Like, is he like young?
Guys, just-
That's a
Yeah,
good
he's pretty
question.
young, I think.
Like 25-ish, like around that age. Like,
Oh, younger
He's
than
27.
Oh, never mind. I lied. 27.
I thought he'd be around 25-ish. Like, it's still like
Yeah,
He's young.
but by the time he's finished in 5-6 years, then Solina steps in.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All these goalkeepers are good choices, I think. And at the end of the day, I think we all agree that Kepa should not be the number one goalkeeper.
trying to like stay to
so-
it.
I think the only thing I'd say about the goalkeeper thing is you got to look at it in terms of priorities thing. Like I don't want to talk about a goalkeeper until we get a striker and a DM. Personally, that's just my opinion. Once those two are sorted,
Yeah.
by all means, go and get your first choice goalkeeper.
I think we can get by with what we have right now, but it is something that has to be addressed eventually. So hopefully sooner rather than later.
After seeing the goals we conceded this weekend and seeing his inability to claim corners, I disagree personally. Like, I think it needs to be addressed. this summer. I think.
Well,
I'll be honest. I think that is, depending on who they're going to look at for number 9. I'd argue it's probably second on the priority list for me.
Bro, he nearly cost us a point last week. He nearly cost us a point.
Yeah.
Last week.
DM is number 1 and will always be number 1 until we actually fix that problem. Number 2, again, it depends. If you're telling me, by the way, that they're going to get Tony for the striker, then that immediately goes to number 2 in terms of priority because he's my number 1 guy I want in the summer for striker. But if they're looking at other people, calm. I'd rather go and focus on goalkeeper.
Oh, in terms of midfielders, and I don't know, Marshall, if you're going to speak on this, or you guys already did before I came on. Can I ask about Lavia for a second? Do you guys rate him, right?
Sure.
I think he's good, but he's injury prone.
No, forget the injury prone stuff. I just mean like him actually playing. Have you guys watched him this season? Do you guys rate him?
He cooks us every time.
That's not hard. But anyway,
what players?
I gave him the goal drip.
What player did you say? Because I didn't miss the name.
Romeo Lavia.
Oh, Lavia.
I like him. The only thing I worry about is having him in the midfield with Enzo. I just don't like the idea of having 2 really young midfielders together.
But do you rate him?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on because I have 2 more topics I want to talk about, and we're getting close to hitting that 2-hour mark. But no, I think we did talk about it earlier, Prime. I think he is a good option for the midfield. We'll see where it goes. Him and Kone are some good options.
No, I just don't think he's actually. Never mind, that's fine.
Anyways, let's go on to the topic that it's you guys know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just gonna.
What? Jose Mourinho?
Ooh.
You're excited about Jose, bro?
Wait.
We're done with that, man.
Wait, there's Jose news.
No, I'm just memeing. It's a meme.
Anyways, let's just move on with this. Let's get through this as quick as possible. Anyways, Mason Mount's contract situation is not helping. Plus, Blueface long-standing interest in start player for Man City. According to Fabrizio Romano, Man City is actually interested in this guy. I don't know why. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. Let's move on. Anyways, Fabrizio Romano, there's still a big gap in negotiation between Chelsea and Mason Mount as new deal is again far from being agreed. No final decision yet, but chances of Mason Mount leaving Chelsea are increasing. Mount will be on the market if new deal is not agreed before the summer. Again, here from Matt Law now. It should be noted that the stalemate in contract talks has not resulted in a standoff between Mason Mount and the club or between him and Potter. The England international has continued to happily fulfill Chelsea marketing requests and played with injuries while the team was going through a slump, such as the FA Cup defeat to Manchester City. Matt Law again, while online trolls continue to target Mount, pointing out Chelsea have won their last 3 games without him, while ignoring that the club has also did so without Thiago Silva, missing James for 2 of them. Real-life fans remain very much behind him. You know what, Matt Law? You have a very good point here. Why not? Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Matt
This
Law,
guy can do one.
Very good point. Very God, what a great point, Matt Law. Great point.
He has the audacity to call other people trolls, like, you know.
I know, for real. So Adam Newson here saying Potter on Sterling. Raheem Sterling has a problem with his hamstring. It's not too serious, but he'll miss the game at the weekend and the international trip. It's the same with Mason Mount. He will be missing the England camp as well. So Mason Mount did get called up to England. He will be missing that. Graham Potter just seemed to suggest the Mason Mount will have to pull out the England squad with a pubic injury.
A pubic bone. It's a real thing. I did look it up. It's a real thing.
Sure. Yeah. Despite the fact that Mason Mount was named to the squad yesterday, and then we have, I think this is the last one I have for Mason Mount. Mason Mount has appointed a new agent, Neil Fewings from Wasserman Media Group, to manage a potential transfer. The strongest indication yet that he is set to leave. Mount and his dad have stopped
before this, after the story.
Oh shit! All right, I'll see if I have it. Mount and his dad have sought more specialist assistance to negotiating with other clubs. And yeah, that's all I have for the Mason Mount stuff. But if you want to send me the
this picture on Pies, it's like the second tweet on Pies is I think.
What's this?
Just another report.
All right, here we
One
go.
more. No more. Yeah, there we go.
Cool. So we have another report here. Tony Mount is still Mason Mount's official agent, but now there will be another agent called Neil to help with the negotiations. He will speak to Chelsea to understand the negotiations. Mount will be sold if and nothing agreed before June and July. Listen, we said it before. We'll say it again. The club still goes on without Mason Mount. It's that simple. It's like, this is ridiculous. If there's any more indications that he's going to be leaving, it has to be this. It has to be this.
I just don't know why any of this is news, because didn't they say already that, they've put the negotiations on talk, or they put them on hold since until the end of the season. So, like, why is this even news? Like some of these things, they still haven't come to an agreement. No, of course they're not. They're not talking. So I understand the agent thing, and this just screams to me like Christensen last year, because he did the exact same thing. If you don't want to believe Fabrizio here, it's the same thing where you sack your dad and you get a new agent to manage the transfer elsewhere.
The thing is, he didn't even sack his dad. His dad is still his agent.
It's just you have to pay 2 agents.
Well, either way, he's gotten some additional representative to look at a new club. It's kind of similar in that way, and yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you know what it is, man. This is what happens. This is what happens when you put family in charge of your finances, man.
I feel like that's always a silly move. I mean, you get why they do it, because they're still young adults, right? But it's just
but I understand that when you're up to the age of like 19, 20, and you have like your parents' dad's advice, it makes sense. But now, big man, you're 24 years old. You're gonna have to get some professional to handle your negotiation, not your family members, because they're obviously the way they value you is gonna be higher than maybe what the club might value, what the negotiator might think is the best deal for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the other thing that I find to be insanely ironic too is that Matt Law talking about trolls. And listen, the media, since the World Cup especially, that was the big, not even since the World Cup, it's way before that, but I think the World Cup was a big wake-up call to a lot of people that the media was constantly defending Mount. And there's so much favoritism towards him. And you see when those tweets from Matt Law, those aren't even really reports, they're opinions. He has an opinion. He likes Mason Mount. He wants Mason Mount to stay. So he's going to throw Thiago Silva and Reece James under the bus?
To be fair, he works at a paper. He works at a newspaper, sports newspaper. He's allowed to give his opinion in pieces, isn't it? But they're not like proper reporters, if that makes sense.
But that's the thing. Like, you tweet these things, there are your opinions, but you tweet them like they're reports. That's the problem I have with some of these outlets. Simon Phillips does it too. It's just like, why? People go to these outlets to get news and reports, not to be swayed, because that's the other thing too. Matt Law, Simon Phillips, they have pulling power. They have sway power. They have the ability to sway the audience to believe something, stir up commotion when it's not necessary, be dramatic, have clickbait headlines that people will react to. That kind of a tweet saying, Reece James and Silva were also not playing. That's not something he put out there just to have an opinion. He wanted to elicit reactions.
I mean, a big part of journalism is to have an opinion. That is a part of it, but my problem with it is just the hypocrisy. Calling people trolls, and it's just that really. Like, you of all people, you trying to incite things, and now you're calling others trolls. But yeah, no, it's not wrong for a journalist to have an opinion. That's a big part of it.
You remember, talk about trolls. You remember when Matt Law said Mason Mount give Thomas Tuchel the angry eyes? Like, stuff like that, just having, rattling the fan base doing that. He does it. He loves doing it.
Oh my lord! Oh my god! That is cash money, man. That's cash money. I can't believe he said that.
It's just to rile the fan base up. He does it. So, but what I don't get with why does Mason Mount's not like a huge player. He's not world class enough, and he's not like a big name or nothing yet. But why does he really need 2 agents? I don't understand why he needs 2. You could just have 1.
He probably didn't want to sack his father, and he probably sees that his father's not competent enough, so he got someone who actually does do agencies and all that stuff, and something like a guiding hand. Yeah. I feel like that's not abnormal. I feel like I've done it before. I feel like there are players. I feel like Erling Haaland. Didn't Erling Haaland do that?
Haaland had his dad and an actual one as well.
And
yeah,
Mino.
like,
yeah, he had his dad and Mino Raiola.
I think his dad was like a consultant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had Mino before Mino died. I don't know who it is now, but yeah.
Yeah, Mino Raiola was his actual agent. I think his dad was like a consultant or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of in the common though. I feel like they're like maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe it's not actually his agent. It's more like a consultant, but he is the agent. I don't know. It's a weird scenario. I just think the media needs to just stop with this Mason Mount bullshit. It's done. Like, let the kid go. He doesn't want to be here. And you know what? That's the other thing too. And I think we've all said it here. If Mason doesn't want to sign a long-term contract because he wants to have the option, he wants to have another big contract available for him later in his career. He wants to have the option to explore other options. Then that's good on him. I understand where he's coming from. Chelsea doesn't want to do that. Then that's fine. Mason is 100% allowed to go to another club that will give him that contract. And I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable that you don't want a long-term contract because you want to perhaps get another big contract later on in your career when you're hitting your prime, the end of your career. I get it. You don't want to be tied down to a club. Let's stop painting this narrative that he's proper Chelsea. Let's stop painting this narrative that Mason wants this club, that he wants to be at Chelsea.
You know, it's fine. It's fine for him to look out for himself. At the end of the day, he's looking out for himself, and Chelsea are looking out for themselves.
Family to take care of, themselves to take care of. Yeah,
we have priorities here, and it's fine for him to look out for himself because it's his career. But then don't put blood, sweat, and tears into defending him and saying this and that when he's looking out for himself. Like it's not a bad thing, but don't put the energy into it because you're just lying to yourself at that point.
Yeah.
Hey, so, I mean, all I'm saying is get ready for Mount number 8 at your football club, my guy.
Listen, that's the other thing too. This is the other thing too. By the way, 90 of you guys watching, almost 90 of you guys watching, get us up to 40 likes. Actually, get us up to 50 likes. Why not? I'm feeling a little ambitious. You guys can do it. I believe in you guys. But here's the thing about Mason Mount.
You should get us to nearly 90 watching, less than 40 likes. What is this, man? What is this?
I think people can get
the
you don't want to get
DNA session. What is this, man? Come on.
You don't want to get Andrew angry, man. That's all I'm saying. Man. Don't get Andrew angry.
My God. Oh my God.
It, press the like button. It's what it takes like a second. Press the like button. It helps.
No one wants to be angry, angry. Yeah.
Shut up.
We don't want, you know.
Let's go backstage.
We don't want.
We'll go backstage.
Listen, the last victim of Andrew's anger was
Zarma just now.
All right, Victor.
But wait, before you go on, Chris, I do want to point out something about Mason Mount. Listen, this might be a little bit. This might be a little bit of a cheeky take, but I think you guys can see where I'm coming from. Mason Mount isn't necessarily a bad player. I think this season you can say that a good portion of his bad performances come from Graham Potter not knowing what the fuck he was doing with the back four. I will say I still don't think he's good enough for Chelsea. I always thought he was a squad player. But if we look at how Mason Mount was 2 seasons ago, I think that player could potentially still be there. And if he goes to Liverpool, if he goes to Man City, it's up to the manager to get the best out of him. I just don't expect him to be this shit at those clubs.
You mentioned the Man City. I wanted to mention Man City because you talked about the post here. I don't believe Man City actually won. They're going to set that bait for Liverpool. They're doing it. Like they've done it many times. They don't like. Can you really see Mason Mount like playing like we did talk about it the other day actually with De Bruyne, Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Mahrez, like all these players. Yeah. Can you imagine? Haaland's making a run as well, and I did say it before. Haaland's making a run, and Mason Mount's too busy looking at the ground. And not like looking forward for that pass. Like he won't.
Or drifting center or something, drifting wide.
He won't honestly fit City. Like Pep will not look at him. I guarantee it. It's a bait trap for Liverpool. Liverpool, he suits a Klopp system. He suits their midfield. Like he will work hard in that midfield. He'd probably cover for Trent bumming forward as well. Like he would do stuff like that.
If Johnny goes with Mount to Liverpool. Why NWA will new meaning? You'll never wank alone if Johnny goes there.
Oh my God! I'm muted, man.
I prefer really not to speak.
Can you honestly think like City actually want him though? No. There's no way.
No, and this Juventus thing's bullshit as well. Okay, don't try that.
Juve are broke.
Juve are broke first of all, but second of all, why would they want Mount? Well, they just got rid of that. They just got rid of Aaron Ramsey. Why would they want Mount? You know,
a young, promising, up and coming midfield.
Yeah, so why would they want Mount?
Got full of potential.
Mount's not young anymore, by the way.
Yeah, he's 24 now.
He's always going to be young.
No, you can't use.
He's going to be the Jesse Lingard of Chelsea.
Yeah.
You can't use the word. No, that's Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh, he's going to be the Stephen McTominay of Chelsea. There we go. That's better.
You can't use the word potential with a 24-year-old anymore. Okay, can't do that.
Honestly, though, yeah,
honestly.
Can't. No, but honestly, like if Liverpool don't take him, I can't think of a club really, a big club, can take him.
He can go somewhere.
I got one for you, not a big club.
Portsmouth.
If we buy, but if we buy a share in Strasbourg, just send him on there for the last year.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Ah,
yeah. There you go.
We'll get no money.
Send Lukaku there as well.
There you go. But ladies and gents, I do want to point out we are 2 more likes away from 50. So smash that like button if you haven't done so already. I think we got one more topic that I want to discuss with you guys. I think we're done with the Mason Mount thing. Listen, we've beaten that nail over the head so much. I think the next time I talk about Mason Mount is either after a game if he plays, or there's no way, or
there's more links.
Or if he's leaving the club. Okay, that's like I
By
can't.
the way,
I
when
don't
he
know much
leaves-
more I can talk about this guy.
When he leaves, we're doing a 19-hour stream in his memory.
Oh, good luck, Marshall. Good luck.
Listen, we'll take breaks. We'll do shift breaks, Andrew.
We're just like, here's Marshall for the first 4 hours, and I'll do the next 4 hours. Then real Chris will do the next 4 hours.
No, I'm ill that day. I'm ill.
You're ill that day.
You pussy, Chris.
We'll have a celebratory stream.
19 hours on fucking Mount, man. I fucking burn my brains.
No celebration, man. We'll get drunk on stream.
No,
yeah.
I'm smoking some
vodka.
Yeah, the only way I'm talking about Mason Mount for that many hours, I need to get drunk.
I'm drinking 19 beers. I'm going to drink 19 beers on stream. That's what I'm going to do.
I buy AU vodka.
And you know what? It'll be 19 Carlsbergs because you'll be going to fucking Liverpool. Oh my days. All right, boys. One more thing I want to discuss. This one's an opinion piece. Let's go ahead and discuss the Champions League draw. All right.
I hear Real Madrid shivering.
But listen, I got it right in front of us. Benfica, Inter, Man City, Bayern, Milan, Napoli, and Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Now, prior to yesterday's game, I was kind of excited for that Real Madrid-Chelsea draw. Now I have my doubts for good reason. I feel like Don Carlo's going to put us in the spliff again. This time a really, really tightly packed spliff. But how do you guys feel about this going into it? Do you think we actually have a chance, or are you really pessimistic? Are you optimistic? Go ahead.
We're getting fucking packed. That's what's happening. Bro, I'd said it before. I'm not watching Conor Gallagher play in the fucking Bernabeu. Like this prick is gonna bring number 23 on in the Bernabeu, where they've had legends. What's his name? Di Stefano, Zidane, Figo, Beckham, and this bastard, this terrorist, is gonna bring Gallagher on.
Imagine what the Madrid fans think. We've brought them Werner, Alonso, Gallagher. What's next, man?
I was thinking, what would Potter do? Yeah, like say we go 1-0 up. We know Gallagher's coming on, right? If we somehow go 1-0 up, if we go 1-0 down,
1-0 up. We're gonna be 4-0 down. He's gonna bring Gallagher.
Yeah. I know, but I'm just trying to think.
1-0 up.
Potter's plan, right? If we go 1-0 down or something, we're bringing on Mason Mount to like help us. Like it's gonna be 1 or 2, I reckon. Like I don't know like how we're gonna like deal with that game either, because like Real Madrid, like they're no joke of a team. They got a way better attack than us. They got a better midfield, and we have a better defense. Yeah, but we just can't save our lives. So they just keep having fun. I have no hope of this team. Like we got through to the next round. I get another 2 games of Champions League just to like see us go out. But yeah, we're getting, like Scott said, we're getting packed.
The thing is as well, like
Oh,
when we
good.
played them all them times, like excluding the one at Stamford Bridge because that was just horrible. But those other 3 times that we played them in the Champions League, like the setup was so perfect, and that was just Tuchel being great. Can we rely on Potter setting us up 10 out of 10 just like that?
Against Angelotti too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we can rely on Potter like we can Tuchel. That's just ridiculous.
Even if we go into good form, I still don't have hope we're going to beat Real Madrid. Like, I don't trust Potter with the right subs, the right lineup. Probably he might choose a decent lineup. Like he's good at that, but after 60 minutes, he always shits the bed. So I'm not confident.
It's literally the worst draw possible as well. That's the other thing. Like even if you have a good manager, your back's still against the wall because like we've just got on the side of hell when it comes to the bracket. So. That's one thing to look at as well.
Listen, man, number 3's on the way, guys. Number 3's on the way. I believe.
Number 3, 3 what? 3.
Are you being sarcastic?
I made a bet, so I can't lose.
You made a bet.
You gotta back yourself now.
I have to back
You're a
myself.
dumbass. That's why.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The number 3 will be will be that Man City knocks out of all 3 cups. That's what it'll be.
Yeah. How have you bet?
No, the number 3 is the number of hat tricks that Benzema's getting.
Oh my god.
Listen, man, if it happens, guys, listen, Ahmed was right. It's like Leicester. We genuinely need a Leicester miracle for it to happen. I can't lie to you. Still, we're
gonna have to start a GoFundMe for Ahmed, to be honest, to pay for that bet he made.
Ahmed, when you made that bet, you was definitely drunk, right? You wasn't sober.
Somewhat.
How are you backing like Chelsea in this like we're literally 10th, like we might drop down to 11th actually if we lose to Villa next, and we got Potter in charge who fucks up after 60 minutes. How are you better than us to win the Champions League? You're like bad as fatter.
No, I didn't. Listen, relax. I didn't bet money. I just bet we were gonna win.
What'd you bet?
I just bet this myself, this myself. Like, I said, listen, guys, you're gonna win in it.
Wait. Wait, you're selling yourself.
Wait, no. Not like that. As in, like,
fucking minerals, bub.
I was like, I did
Been getting the minerals, man. Jesus.
I did like a little picture thing of like, listen, we're gonna win the league, not the league, so we're in the Champions League, and if we don't, I'm ruined in it. That's all.
Wait, when did you say we was gonna win it as well? Like, maybe that's a bit of context.
Probably like 2 weeks ago, I think.
You. I don't know how you thought we was gonna win Champions League 2 weeks ago. What? Because we're in decent form.
No, I just think it feels like in Europe the players like to do something in Europe, innit? So maybe you never know, innit?
Yeah, because we had Tuchel who had a good system.
Because like this is like a conversation I was even having today with like a friend of mine. Like if it was like in the Premier League, because they have nothing to play for, does that not like feel like a factor as to why they're not doing as well? Like at this point, there's no hope of getting even a European spot.
Yeah.
Are the players like energized to do anything? Are the players energized?
I mean, they do it themselves, don't they?
Yeah,
I know you didn't see the draw, obviously. I give you that benefit that you didn't see the draw, but like, if we beat Real Madrid, do you think we'll beat like Castillo or Bayern Munich next?
Listen, man, we can.
That's the question I wanted to ask.
Listen, we need a miracle, and listen, man, miracles can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, miracles can happen.
This is Chelsea heritage. You know what I mean? When you went through that top tier Napoli team, then the Bayern Munich team, then you had to face that Barcelona team. Man, them weren't expecting that, were they? So it is what it is.
Ahmed, I'm glad you've got optimism, my guy, because I can't believe you just compared the fact that we beat Napoli with a team containing Ivanovic, Ramirez, Lampard, Drogba to a team containing Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz.
I am just listen. I'm just holding on to what I can. Listen, I'm just Scott. I'm just holding out for hoping it. You know what I mean? Just praying for something to happen. You know what I mean?
You're being very hopeful.
He's got nothing left.
I've got nothing left to lose, man. I've got nothing left to lose. You know what I mean? Maybe once you go to the Bernabeu and get smacked 3-0.
I just don't know how we're gonna put goals past them. We don't score like our top score is like what 7-8 goals.
Our top goal scorer is Kai Havertz.
I mean,
yeah.
To be fair though, Chris, we have been scoring the last games.
I don't know what you guys are worried about, man. Don't need to score. Just go to penalties.
Oh. If that happens, then my God.
Bring on Kepa.
Don't know what you're worried about.
Jowday, you know what I mean? Jowday, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go on, guys.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, prior to yesterday's game, I had some optimism. Now I'm not so sure because now I feel like I'm back to feeling like
yesterday. Oh, okay.
No.
I was saying it took you till yesterday to be confident about us being Real Madrid.
Marshall had some hope because we actually beat a broken Dortmund team and we beat Leeds.
No, because yesterday, listen, I had some hope because it seemed like the previous games that we won, it seemed like we were seeing a more competent Graham Potter. But after yesterday's game, now I'm realizing, no, it seems more like he came up with an idea and it worked. And he's like, oh my God, gentlemen, lads, this is it. This is it. We just got to keep doing it. This is what we have to keep doing. And now he realized like, oh, this is going to work because there's going to be managers that are going to counteract my strategy. Now I have to come up with another plan. So it just seems like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing again.
You know, he's going to go back to back four.
He might. It's just, I don't know.
Man. Kepa's not going to be able to save those, what's it called, Vinicius Junior shots anyway. So why am I lying to myself?
No, that Benzema header. I'll tell you what, that Benzema hat trick is going to hit like crack. I'll tell you that now.
I can see it. I can see Valverde banging a shot from outside the box.
Oh no, that Rudiger long shot on Kepa's going to hit like crack.
Yeah, Rudiger's going to have a pop shot as well. Vinicius is going to like fucking, I don't know.
Vinicius isn't going to do anything because of Reece James. I'm confident
he might break Reece James' ankles. I don't know. Like that guy is crazy good.
Oh no, Rudiger
didn't do it last year, Chris.
40-yarder.
What?
He didn't do it last year.
He didn't do it last. He didn't do it last.
Did silence him.
But Vinicius, I don't know. It feels like he just improved even more.
I'm worried about the midfield. That's just about.
Chris, don't let Trent fool you, man. Don't let Trent fool you.
But let me ask you guys something. Depending on which content comes back, let's assume we get a brand new, spanking, new lease on life on N'Golo Kante. Let's say he comes back. Do you think he's going to be the difference maker in that Champions League? Okay.
Yes, he's going to score a banger. Believe it.
No, but I'm just saying, like this Real Madrid battle is going to be all the midfield. I know, and I trust Enzo.
Chris, if you're going to banter, pick an actual player who could do that instead of like.
Mason Mount.
Once again, I repeat my previous sentence. You know what I mean? Pick a proper player.
Kai Havertz, that beautiful finesse.
Again, I repeat the other one, man.
Shit, man.
No, Kai Havertz is probably the most likely of any player he's just said.
Yeah, that beautiful finesse.
I think for this game, listen, I think it's going to highly depend on those players that are going to be in this match for a third year in a row. So Kovacic, Kante, I hate to say this, Mason Mount might actually play a factor in this game. Kai Havertz, Reece James, Chilwell, Thiago Silva. I think it's going to be very heavily dependent on these veterans and what it means to them and what kind of team shows up. Because I think on the day, if this team is up for it, we can get a result against Real Madrid. We almost did the impossible last season with this team, and it was a worse team. I think this year we have a better team. Just the manager is the one that's questionable.
I said it before. I said there's this new thing where they call where players have got we give players the bozo gene. We've got that in our manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well,
do you guys play FIFA,
right? I'll say this right now. When Conor Gallagher walks on that Bernabeu pitch, that'll be one of the biggest disgraces in football history. That a player like that walks on that pitch. You might as well literally go on there and take a big shit in the middle of the centre circle.
You genuinely might as well burn the stadium down.
Burn it down. He's not good enough to go. He's not good enough to go on. Remember we faced him in 2021 in their training pitch. He's not good enough to go on that. Do you know what I mean? He's not good enough. He's not good enough to fly to Madrid.
Bro, we took Werner to
Andrew, go one further. He's not good enough to play on He's not good enough to play on Real Madrid Castilla's stadium.
He's not good enough to play on Real Sociedad Stadium. You know
don't break a boy's dream, man.
No, quickly, guys.
Don't break a boy's dream. Come on, like let him play.
Have you guys played FIFA? Like FIFA formations 5-2-1-2. That is the formation we need to play against.
Wait, you mentioned FIFA and football?
5-2-1-2. That's what we need.
5 at the back.
Hang on. Who are you having in midfield to go free? To go free in midfield.
Yeah.
5-2-1-2, innit? So you have a
Gallagher.
Yeah, cool. That doesn't answer my Ahmed. Oh, that doesn't answer my.
What I'm saying is that Enzo Kovacic, then the cam position can be taken by probably Felix, and then you have like Havertz and someone else up next to him.
Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Ahmed, you should be the manager.
Listen, bro, trust me. I would. If I was
You're really breaking my hopes and dreams here.
Bro, I'm telling you, let's
go 5 backs so we don't concede this many.
Bro, the 5-2-2 formation for Chelsea might be it, bro. I'm telling you, it might work. It might work, man. I'm telling you,
the 3-4-3 is like a back five still. It literally does like go back to a back five, like when we're defending. Yeah. And then when we're attacking, like they push up and help attack, don't they? So, like we heard Pep tell us what it is like before Champions League final.
Listen, against Real Madrid, we need to play low block football. Low block football is what we need to play right now. Simple as that, man.
So you're saying
I will say this. I will say this. As optimistic as I am that we could potentially get a result against Real Madrid,
I would love it.
I really don't know how I feel about this one right here.
I want Bayern in that game. Bayern, listen, cash money. I'm telling you right now.
I'll take Bayern over Man City, absolutely.
I think I'll take Man City. I think I'll take Man City.
Listen, the thing is, I'm not worried about famous last words. If we get Man City, I'm not worried about Erling Haaland. I think our defense is competent enough to shut him down. But that team overall is just, I think it's, I don't know. I think they just have a better team than us.
I just don't want Man City to be able to knock us out of every single cup this season. That would be so embarrassing.
It would be embarrassing.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my god.
There's some breaking news I got, like quickly. Apparently, Potter criticized Havertz celebration apparently against Everton.
He just said
Havertz celebration for making it.
Oh, it was too childish.
No. He just said don't involve the opponent. Like,
yeah, he doesn't like any emotions.
It's the most boring fuck I've ever met.
Yeah,
I
know.
He honestly just loves to sit there and be passive as fuck.
Listen, there's no passion, no desire, bro. You know what I mean? Where's that belief? Listen, you need to be dunking on these man.
This guy, man.
I don't like.
This guy doesn't know what shithouser he is.
Yeah, he doesn't. When all the players are fighting, he's just sitting there watching. I know it's
wasn't Pickford talking shit in the box
anyway?
Yeah. Potter don't give a shit though.
No, he just sits there passive and
don't stoop down to their level.
Bro. Yeah, you're just as bad as them.
No, he's like their teacher. Don't stoop down.
He's gonna give him a finger waggle, man.
Yeah,
oh my god.
There's no real emotion.
Do you guys remember Everton? Remember Everton? Havertz used to always get pissed off about that area because people would be cussing him out.
Yeah, he don't like Everton, does he?
Him and
he doesn't like Everton. He doesn't like Gary Mina.
Yeah, where Mina fucking tried
tried to make
scare him. He tried scaring him, and it backfired. He pushed him over and he fell down to the ground. I would not like that. Then. Remember when the Everton player
rating Conor Gallagher? Jesus Christ. Who? Yeah. Potter's hyping up Conor Gallagher right now as well. Oh, shocker, man.
I was going to maybe try to end with go through everyone, Chelsea go through or not, yes or no? Because I don't think no from me as well.
It's just
I think. Listen, man. If I say yes,
you say yes, you're a liar.
I'm saying yes. What the hopium? That's all I'm saying. Well, yes for hopium, innit? You know what I mean? Let's add a bit of hope in there.
Hopium? No, I'm on the hopium train too. We'll see.
Listen,
I think after our next game, I will be decided for sure.
Deep down, I feel like we're gonna lose. But let's hope, you know what I mean? Let's pray on a wishing star and get through, inshallah.
We have the team. It's just which Potter is gonna show up? That's the thing. Which Graham Potter is gonna show up? The sleepless one that looks like he's done fucking meth for fucking 10 days straight, or the one that's actually gonna put out a good tactic like he did against fucking the AC Milan and fucking Dortmund.
Yeah, is it the sleepless one, or is it the one that came up with the turtleneck and the fade?
Yeah, you want that, Potter.
Yeah, I hope we get the good Potter. We'll see. Look, I'm up for the challenge, but Ancelotti is no joke, and that's gonna be the biggest game of the season, the biggest game of Potter's career. To be honest with you, yeah, the biggest game in Potter's career is gonna be that Champions League bout. So
wasn't that 2 games ago against Dortmund?
Yeah, well, it just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it? That's his level.
Yeah, that's his level.
Christ.
So we'll see. We're guys, we might genuinely be fucked.
Game of his career is Villa.
Oh, we're fucked.
Yeah, we'll see.
Still got to get to 40 points.
No, Andrew, do you know what his biggest game is? His biggest game is that first game of pre-season.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus. No, the biggest game is the biggest game is in the next 2 weeks when he has the indoor friendly against whoever it is.
You know what? Watch us lose that game.
Can we keep Kante fit?
Can we keep
Kante fit?
He subs on Gallagher for Kante, 60 minutes.
Oh my god.
Oh my days.
Yo,
Run, Gallagher, run!
65th minute is gonna hit like crap.
Chelsea is back. Chelsea is
Conor
back.
Gallagher on for Dalby.
No, it's gonna hit like that. Come down. That's what it's gonna hit by. Hit like.
It's gonna be a sobering substitute. That's what that is.
Like.
It's a sobering
It's
substitution.
gonna be, you know, it's gonna be post-nut clarity. It's gonna be, man.
That's,
Oh my days! This guy said post-nut clarity. That's real. All right. Well, I definitely need post-nut clarity because apparently I'm the only one that thinks we could get a result here. So we'll see.
No, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man. I'm with you to the end, Derry Marshall.
All right.
yeah, you're both thinking with that shit.
I can't even take it seriously right now. I'm genuinely being honest, but I'm laughing at the idea of me even. I'm listening to myself speak, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I'm a clown. But anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big up to the panel, Ahmed, Prime, Scott, Chris, Surfer, and Oliver. Big up to everyone in the chat for joining us. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Get us over the 60 like mark as well. One game at a time, one stream at a time for you guys in chat. Big up to all of our proper casuals. I forgot to shout you out, so I'm going to shout you out right now. Big up to Winter Surfer, Daniel, Strasburg Steve, OG Turbo Jesus, and Dark. Be sure to check out the membership tiers starting at 99p. A bunch of emojis you can use on there. We're going to get more emojis as we get more members as well. Fun stuff for you guys. Check out the links in the description. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the stream today and everything we talked about. And we'll catch you again possibly Wednesday. We'll see how my week goes with work and all that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you later. Stay casual. Peace.